on some of the bad days where I was like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I was like, freaking be here, Taylor.
This week we have Miss Taylor Learmont. Obviously, the discipline part, so many people struggle with losing weight.
I feel like it's like almost like a mental switch.
Taylor, aka LittleTfitness, is a professional bodybuilder, personal trainer, and content creator, boasting nearly 2 million Instagram followers.
You can be successful, I can be successful, we can celebrate each other's success.
Yeah, there's like enough cake out there.
I went into Olympia just being like, I don't even think I was gonna get here.
Yeah. What are the characteristics that you believe you have that got you to the success that you just described?
I think I'm very focused.
The way you talked was different.
People wanna work with people who make them feel good. At the end of the day, like I wanna be surrounded by like-minded people because they say like the 5 people you surround yourself with is like the sum of who you are. Prep to me is like a game. If you check off all your boxes at the end of the day, you win that level. Celebrate the wins as they come.
Before we get started, if you could do me one favor, if you received any value out of this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the entire world. Taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment allows me just to do that. Thanks, y'all. All right, y'all, we have Miss Taylor Learmont, aka LittleTfitness. What's crack-a-lackin', baby?
I'm so happy to be back. I'm so excited.
This is so cool.
I know.
Last time you talked, you weren't even planning on doing Olympia.
No.
I mean, you were, but you weren't. Like you didn't plan on winning.
Oh, definitely not.
The Legion.
Yeah.
And Olympia wasn't even in your head.
No, not at all. I thought I was going to be one and done, quite honestly.
Yeah, you were like, it's my last bodybuilding show. It won't ever happen again. Come back.
Yeah.
2024, you're like, yeah, we're prepping for
We got a whole
new Olympia.
Yeah, we have a whole schedule set out, so I'm excited for that.
So I guess like where's your head at now? Because like back then, your goals were way different than they are now. You're like, I'm just gonna do that show, and then I'm gonna grow my socials and do everything. Like, what were your goals then, and what are they now?
Yeah, I think my goals back then were just show up, do as best as I can, have fun with it. And then again, focus more on my social media, stuff like that. And like now I have bigger goals. Now it's like, oh, like I want to perform even better.
Bigger goals. Why are they bigger?
Well, okay, not bigger. Good catch on that one. Not bigger. They're more, I guess, precise or performance oriented because I do have a specific goal now to bring an even better routine to Olympia. Okay. I don't think my goal will ever be.
Can you explain what Mr. Olympia is for the people who don't know what that is?
Yes, of course. So Mr. Olympia is like the Olympics of bodybuilding, basically. It's like the top of the top, the best in the world, all come together. And in order to get there, you have to win your pro show. And so for fitness, there's very few of them in the year.
Can you explain what do you mean for fitness?
Oh, my category.
My
category. So the fitness category is unique in that we do the fitness routine.
Cheers, mate.
ASMR. There we go.
Coffee today. Taylor went too hard for her birthday. Happy birthday, friend.
Oh, thank you. Belated. But the fitness division, we have 70% of our mark being the routine stuff, which is what my Instagram mainly is. And then we have 30% being the posing round, which is what most
routine
people...
stuff, guys, she means like the flippy flips and the push-ups and the...
Yeah, all the plyo, cool stuff, handstands, everything like that. Yeah. And then the posing round is typically what everyone always thinks of with bodybuilding in the 2-piece bikini posing on stage.
Jacked.
Just lat spread.
How was the posing part? Because these... Like,
oh, so awkward. When I was first learning it, like I think there's a video back on my Instagram, my YouTube, where Jody was like, "Okay, flare your lats," and I was like literally like this.
You're like, how do I do that?
Yeah, it was the opposite of flaring. I was like sucking them in, and so now even when I'm just like posing casually in my kitchen and stuff, just like practicing, I'm like, there's such a big difference of my overall body awareness, which is really cool. Which is I think something that's a big takeaway from bodybuilding is like all the little tiny things that are like big changes in myself that weren't necessarily like the results changes.
Yeah. And you took second, dude.
I know. It's still crazy. When people say that, I'm like, I don't believe it.
Runner-up of Mr. Olympia fitness division.
Which is crazy. Like I have it framed, all like my outfit and my medal, and like when I have it in my house, I'm like, that's crazy. Because again, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have never been like, yeah, my goal is to place top 3.
It wasn't.
At all. Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to do
I'm gonna put some
pro
stuff
debut.
in perspective, guys. Like, I went to Taylor's Legion, I guess, first pro show, right?
Yeah, sports fest.
And I guess the first part of it, of the posing stuff, like Taylor raced off stage, was crying.
Cried.
Did not believe that she was gonna like do well. Like, I've never seen you like that. I was like, what? Like, are you okay? And like, from someone who like knows bodybuilding well enough to know that you did well, like I was like, what are you talking about? But like, that just like disbelief in yourself to you fucking taking runner up on the biggest stage of bodybuilding is such like a cool thing to see.
It was crazy.
Do you have the confidence now, you would say?
I think so.
You think so? Why do you say you think so?
Okay, so I would say like I'm confident that I can do well in the sport.
Okay.
I'm confident that I can do well in the sport.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna be the kind of person to be like, I'm gonna come first. It's just like not in my personality to have that
we'll
kind of.
We'll do that for you.
Yeah, that's why I have you guys. But my personality is always like, just go out there and be better than what I was last year.
Yeah.
So I definitely think going into 2024 Olympia, when that posing round comes, I think I will feel more comfortable and confident on stage. And then my routine round, like I've already been like cooking up some combos and ideas, and I'm let them cook.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for my routine, but at the same time, I still feel like, obviously I hear a bunch of stuff, right? And everyone's like expecting such a phenomenal routine. So I'm trying to ignore all of that because I don't want to focus on like that stuff. I just want to focus on like myself, but it does get in my head sometimes.
Get in your head of what?
That people have like an expectation. Like, I think my biggest fear is I'm going to go
You have no expectation for yourself?
I have expectation, but other people have expectations, and I feel like I just want to be like, if I'm anticlimactic to myself, then I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of sucks. But I don't want everyone else who thinks like, oh my God, she's gonna bring the coolest routine ever, and then I go on stage and they're like, Merp. I'll be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to disappoint anyone, so I am working really hard during my off season to stay on track with my nutrition, my workouts, and then also work really hard in the skill.
I guess I don't know too much about prepping for bodybuilding. What is different between off season and on season for like just bodybuilding in general?
It's really just the food. Okay. Yeah, it's basically eating the same foods. It's just now I get more food, which is really nice.
Same foods.
Yeah.
So you don't get to eat bad food?
Bad food.
I mean, all food's good food? No, that's wrong.
I get to, everything's still nutrient dense.
Okay, nutrient dense.
Nutrient dense. So, for instance, Jody, my coach, is super flexible with me.
Shouts out Jody.
Yeah, I love Jody. But she's really flexible. I told her the other day, I was like, I've been craving pasta. Like, is that possible to add in? And so for my last meal, I can sub out 140 grams of rice for 140 grams of pasta. So there's a little bit more flexibility, whereas in prep, she'd be like, no.
Rice. Yeah. Okay, what's the difference between like carbs from rice or carbs from pasta in prep? Like, why can't you get pasta?
I think it's just digestion wise. Like, I feel like pasta, there's probably just more room for bloating and stuff like that. And also towards the end, because pasta is a little more carb dense, you wouldn't eat as much, you wouldn't be able to have any of it.
So you would have like be more full.
Yeah.
Per se.
Like, I could have more grams of rice than I could have grams of pasta. Because it's on my off season, she's like, we can just do the same amount.
Again, to put stuff in perspective, guys, Taylor for breakfast was only allowed half a kiwi.
And
not a full
whites.
kiwi.
Yeah.
Half a kiwi.
Half a kiwi. But that half kiwi was like the best part of my day.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Where do you think obviously the discipline part, so many people struggle with losing weight or just diet in general or like eating enough protein to get muscle mass. Obviously it is your sport now, but like where can someone like develop that discipline of just like deciding what to put the fuck in their mouth, you know, like
I feel like it's like almost like a mental switch. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, I think when it comes to diet, you have to be in the mindset to be like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And I think once you have that, you're good to go. At least that's how it is for me.
Sounds really easy. I want that switch.
I think it's a switch. Like, quite honestly, like if you just sit down and you're like, all right, this is what we're gonna do today, turn it on.
Yeah.
And there is nothing else. Like, the switch is on. You can't turn it off. You just stay in that path.
I want that switch.
You can do it, Nate. You're disciplined.
Me and Kev are gonna do the bodybuilding show.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm disciplined, but like it's like not as high level of discipline.
I think once you know there's like an end goal though.
No, for sure. I know for a fact, like if I'm gonna sign up for a show, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and also you have like the accountability of checking in with your coach, right?
Yeah.
So if you check in and it's like, is there any discrepancies from this week? You kind of feel like a peg of poo, being like
bag of poo.
Like, oh, I cheated here and here. And like writing it out is like a huge like, you know.
Do you think that's healthy for, I guess, the brain?
I think it is. I think you need a break from it every once in a while. I don't think it's something you could do for like ever.
Yeah.
I think too, if you're going to get into bodybuilding, it is really important to have that good relationship with like your body and food in general. So like, remember, I think I talked about it before. When I came out of my last competition, I had the worst relationship with food and my body. And I took like a good 2.5 years to even get that back.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm in a place where if I eat something that's like off program, I'm not like beating myself up over it. I'm just like, that's okay. It was still high protein.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you call it? From what I remember from the last podcast, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Is you decided to do the pro show to prove something that you're capable of it to a brand that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk about that. So at one point, I was working with a brand, and they went in a direction.
Are we allowed to say anything? No, probably not.
No, we won't say the brand.
You guys know.
It'll be a little secret. But no, there was one point where it's just like this brand was clearly going in a very bodybuilding direction.
Yeah.
And I had voiced that I was like, oh, I'm going to do bodybuilding. And I think that the reason why we didn't end up getting the negotiation and the agreement that we wanted is because they just truly didn't see me as succeeding in bodybuilding. And they were probably just like, oh, it's just going to be one and done, and that's it. And so one of my biggest motivators was like, I like to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
And so when I went into this, it was like, one, I wanted to prove it to myself, but the other thing is like I wanted to, be successful in this. And so that was a huge driving force. So like on some of the bad days where I was like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I was like, but freaking be here, Taylor. You have some stuff to prove. So yeah, it was really cool to have that as like an external motivator when needed. But overall, at the end of the day, a lot of my motivation came from just like wanting to make myself proud.
Yeah.
And then also my following proud. Because the amount of messages I would get each day, people being like, you've got this, Taylor, we believe in you, you're going to win. I was like, I can't let all these people down. Like they believe in me so much. So
that's a good feeling. Yes and no. It's a lot of pressure though.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel honestly, it would be interesting. Obviously, it's not possible to do, but it would be interesting to see how I would have performed at a pro debut without
that pressure.
Like if I never announced it on social media.
Yeah.
Would I still feel that motivated?
I don't think so.
Right?
Maybe?
I don't think so either.
The world
I think
will never know.
Yeah, I think my community has such a big impact on what I do.
Yeah. And your community is slightly different in the way of it's not the typical bodybuilding community.
Oh, not at all.
How would you describe it?
My community, I would say, is a mixture between like young gymnasts, dancers, and like their parents who follow me and their young daughters and stuff.
It's
or
super
sons.
cute when like they do your mobility Mondays, like these 7-year-olds or 8-year-olds.
Yeah, like their moms are posting them being like, oh, my daughter tried it. Like I think that's really my audience, which is why I try to be such a PG person. I'm not out there doing squats in like a little like string bikini and stuff like that. Like I'm very covered.
Taylor during Olympia when she was, I think not Olympia, the first one, Legion.
Yeah.
When Taylor put on her bikini, she was like, "Don't look at me."
I was like, I don't want to practice my posing. But yeah, I'm just so used to being so covered.
Because like for the show, you're not wearing any clothes.
Like none.
Yeah.
Yeah, none. And even when I post like my progress pictures and stuff like that, I'm just like, I only sprinkle them in here and there because again, I still want to stay more calisthenics than I do bodybuilding. She's
just giving the social media the tease, you have to be there in person.
Yeah, you guys have to come to Olympia if you want to see it.
If you want to see this body, you gotta come.
Yeah. Buy the tickets. But no, so my audience is like mainly moms and children, and then also just like young adults who are just trying to like challenge themselves. Like it's not I actually like, according to my app, a lot of people are more like beginner people who are just like starting their fitness journey, but a lot of them see my content and they're like, if that's where I can get to, I'm gonna start today.
Yeah.
It's not about like half my audience didn't even know I was competing.
Oh, really?
Like even when I posted my Olympia like results, people were like, "Oh my god, I had no idea." So my audience is not a bodybuilding audience, which is actually nice because now that I've been exposed to the bodybuilding audience, some of them are not as nice. Some of them are mean.
Okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
Like, how mean?
Some people were very upset that I placed the way I placed because again, they think bodybuilding and they think super jacked in the 2-piece round and they don't consider my routine round and how long and hard I've practiced. So like in their minds, they see me and she's like, oh, she's just a lean athlete. She's not like built. And so they said like, I think one of the comments was like, oh, like someone should just get rid of number 10. She doesn't deserve to be there. Yeah. Stuff like that. So reading that kind of stuff was a little bit hurtful.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, it affected me for the first 2 weeks. And then I was like, hold up. Because Taylor, you've been in social media. You have tough skin. Like what is making this hurt more than anything else? And I think what maybe hurt more is the fact that like I knew how much work I'd put in. And so hearing those comments and seeing those comments and people saying like, oh, it doesn't even look like she dieted. I'm like, bro, I dieted. Yeah. I was dieted. You know what I mean?
You were dieting.
Yeah, like I was dying. And so I think that was the most hurtful part, was that people just completely like washed away all the hard work.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was. But then I realized, like, at the end of the day, I don't have to see these people, you know? And also, if you're going to, like I said before, if you're going to comment, hate, and whatever, like, that's interaction on my page. So we leave it there.
we love any attention, guys.
Yeah.
What do you call it? So what's your training like compared to how you did pre-bodybuilding? Because you're not doing calisthenics as much, or are you?
I recently brought it back in, so I still see like Mike Unbreakable from Toronto. He's my coach, and I see him once every other week for calisthenics, where I get to do like my weighted muscle ups, weighted dips, and everything. Are
you allowed? I mean, obviously you're allowed. You can do whatever you want to, but like, I guess in your programming, what is the negative aspect of putting that into your programming, like calisthenics into your programming? Because from what you told me, up to prep for Olympia, you're like, I took it out.
Strict. Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's super strict when it comes to like prep. Off season, there's a little more flexibility, and I can add more things back in.
But why is it so strict? Like, obviously, like a pull up, you're still using your biceps, your back, your traps, you know?
I think it's just like the more variables you have during prep, you want to just control them as much as you can.
Yeah.
And if you just stay like to a certain regimen, it's just easier that way. So with off season, I usually replace my back day with the calisthenics day. But again, it's not like every single week, it's every other week. So it's still relatively the same.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is like I think it's like more like muscle engagement too. Cause like when you're doing like machines that are heavily isolated, I can focus more on my muscles. Whereas I'm doing calisthenics, I'm just focused on doing the movement. So I feel like the engagement. On your
muscles. Are you talking about like mind muscle connection? You're really focusing on.
Yeah, like squeezing and like all that stuff. Whereas when I'm doing like a weighted muscle up, I'm gonna just get up on the bar.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with like, I watched a couple of videos of you and Jody training, and like, me and you have the same, it's not a problem, but like,
it's a problem.
we're really strong. Right?
Yeah.
But like we might not look it at sometimes. Like the funniest comment that I got, and Kev laughs about it all the time, is like, I was doing muscle ups in Venice, and I was climbing the rope and stuff. She's like, "Damn, bro, you're way stronger than you look." And I was like, "Thank you."
I got that too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So like, your bench is really high, but it's heavier than Jody's.
Yeah.
You know, and like people associate strength with aesthetics.
Yeah.
Right? But like, that's not necessarily how it works. Like, you can have this crazy mind muscle connection, focus on that muscle squeezing, and that's how the muscles grow. It's not necessarily just bumping out like reps.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is something that I learned too, because like she has me do a lot of workouts where I get fatigued way more just on based on what I'm focused on. So for instance, one of the ones that I actually really like, and I think you would like too, is going down into a push-up on dumbbells, and when you come up, you like slightly bring them in and squeeze.
I just saw you guys do that.
Yeah, like they were really hard. Like I think I did like 12 to 15, and after chest flights, I was like, I'm gassed.
Yeah,
which was humbling for me because usually like, I can pump out like 50 plus push-ups usually.
Yeah.
And so it's a different style of training. It's very fun. It's new, but I still love doing the calisthenic stuff.
What's your favorite, I guess, movement nowadays, like in terms of just bodybuilding stuff?
Ooh, honestly, all my workouts are hard. I don't think I have any favorites.
Do you how hard do you push yourself?
Pretty hard.
Like percentage wise, like because obviously you don't want to train max effort every single day.
Not every single day, but it's crazy because I consider what I do hard. Because when I finish my sets, like I'm out of breath. Yeah. However, I watch vlogs of other bodybuilders and they're like grunting and falling over after their sets, and then in my head I'm like, am I not working hard enough?
Same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like it's mostly dudes, or are girls grunting too?
Mostly dudes, but I have seen a couple girls like really grunt and push, and I'm just like, damn, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I don't, maybe I'm not like a vocal person. Like I'm not like, you know what I mean? I'm more just like a suffer in silence. But I don't know. I'm a suffer in silence person.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about the grunting that, I don't know, I think it helps. I think it helps.
Probably.
Because like, that little
like release
of like, I don't want to do it right now.
Do it.
It's like, especially for heavy compound movements, so like a squat. Bench, squat, deadlift, and you, what's it called? Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, guys. It's called the Valsalva maneuver. It's when you take a deep breath in through your stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Hold it, brace your abs, and then breathe it out, or a deep breath down. Hold it, flex. ha, at the top.
That's what it's called. I just call it breathing.
Breathing. Well, the thing is, like, the one thing that I didn't realize, or I guess from running, there's so many different types of breathing.
Yes.
Right? So I have a buddy who does ultra marathons that we do it with, and he, like, will cover his mouth and cover, like, one of his nostrils and just breathe out of that one. And while running. Yeah. Right.
Don't catch me doing that.
And then, like, with clients, you'll see them, like, their chest will breathe. Like, up here when they work out, when you're supposed to breathe through your stomach to brace your core, right? So, and then, like, this trainer that I work with, he was like, you could last 26 days without food around there.
Really?
Completely. Like, you'll be alive. And you could last...
Miserable.
Miserable. You'd be around, like, 6 or 7 days without water and still be alive. But how long without your breath?
0.
I mean, a few minutes, 10 minutes max. Maybe for, David Blaine did 8 minutes or something underwater?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it made me realize how important breathing is. And so for the long time, I couldn't breathe through my nose.
At all?
I mean, like, it just congested, right? Or I thought it was just congestion.
Oh, do you have like one of those collapsed nasal things?
Yeah, I thought I did. And I was just accepted it. And I've heard my parents just talk about, like, they can't breathe well either. And then I listened to a podcast with Andrew Huberman. And, like, your nose is, like, one of the most... It's not plastic, but plasticity. It's malleable. It's soft.
Because it's cartilage.
It's cartilage.
Yeah.
And so, like, you could make it better. So, like, I did, like, mouth taping at night.
Yes,
and I'd always wake up and, like, the mouth tape would be gone. So, like, obviously I'm dying in my sleep and I need to pull it off. I was like, gosh, dang it. And then, like, one night, like, I slept through and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, like, I would just focus on, like, nose breathing while running as fast as I can without breathing through my mouth. So it's pretty slow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would force myself just to breathe, like, you know, and then like now I could breathe so well through my nose, and it only took 2 months of like working on the breathing. And I didn't realize like you could make your breathing better.
Yeah, like
in
a
all
skill.
aspects.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
like breathing for powerlifting is totally different than breathing for running, which is totally different from breathing for meditating.
Yeah,
you know?
like yoga, Pilates, anything like that.
So different. And like getting all those different skills of breathing, I was just like, this is the most important thing you could do.
It is.
You know?
I think I just recently learned how to breathe through my diaphragm better.
Yeah. The bracing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my sports...
Valsalva maneuver.
Valsalva?
Valsalva?
Valsalva.
I could be completely wrong, but we'll look it up after.
We'll say it's that. But my sports massage therapist at home, he was like, breathe through your diaphragm. And I did. And he's like, your chest is moving. And I was like, what? I was like, I thought I'm pretty good at this. And it actually took me like a couple days to actually like train it better. But it actually helps a lot, again, through all my lifts and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not just like fucking
every single lift. Every single heavy lift, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because like if you breathe through your chest, you don't have a very stable core at all.
You're not bracing anything.
Yeah.
And that's when you go down like this. It's convulsing.
And you see, it's like when you see the deadlifter with the
shakes.
The shakes.
Yeah.
It's like they probably aren't breathing properly.
Yeah.
Or their form is bad.
One of those things.
A lot of variables. So back to your favorite movement for bodybuilding.
I'm going to go ahead and say I really like lat pull down. I feel like it's because I'm now able to flare my lats during that movement. Whereas before I didn't.
Okay, how does one flare their lats? Because I have a lot of clients who are like, oh, how do you do that like pose where you flare your lats? I was just like, I don't know, you just put your elbows out and you go like this and you could get your lats out.
There's a couple analogies that I've heard. The best one for me is when like think of like picking up a box. And then when you bring it up to here, like you're pulling the box up to your chest. So like you're picking it up and then pulling it up.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one that works the best for me.
Is that the one that like got you to do it?
I think so. And then the other one is like if you actually like feel your lat and you can feel it flex versus when it's like flared, like pinching it in. Because a lot of people when they flex their back, they like flex in.
Yeah.
So you want to do like almost opposite and push it out.
Yeah. What's the hardest part of posing?
Looking confident, I would say.
Looking confident?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fluidity of it.
Okay, so how does one look confident?
It's just you have to look like it's like effortless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think for me, I'm like I just learned this about myself. I don't bend my elbows when I walk. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. I don't bend my elbows
like on a day-to-day basis.
Like walk. My arms stay straight. I'm very gymnast.
Really?
Yeah. I walk and I run with my arms straight. I'm very gymnastics.
The image that I'm seeing in my head is like, you know, where they run on the straightaway and then they go wee off the trampoline.
Yeah.
They run with straight arms like.
That's me. That's me to a T.
But walking.
But walking.
Okay.
Like, my arms don't really move. So in bodybuilding, you have to, like...
That's kind of weird.
I know. Now that I've seen it and know it about myself, I'm like, we need to change that. I just look like a little...
So do you actively, like, think about your, like, walking in your arms and stuff like that?
I think of, like, at least hinging at the elbow, so there's a little bit of movement.
Yeah.
But with bodybuilding, a big part of it is stage presence. So walking towards the judges and looking not like a robot was so hard for me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I used to send videos of Jody being like, here's my walk. And she's like, oh, you're so cute. You still look like a robot.
I mean, it's totally different, right? You're from a gymnastics background, and gymnastics is super...
rigid,
but athletic at the same time. Like, when you think athleticism, you think very fluid and flowy, right? Yeah, at least when I do.
I think of sharp movements, so maybe that's the difference.
Well, when I think gymnastics, I'm like, that's the only thing that's sharp and, like, athletic, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, because everything we do is, like,
words.
arms by ears, like, running like this. Like, it's all very, like, jolty, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's also the medium that it's in, right? Because if you look at bodybuilding, points are scored differently than points of gymnastics. Gymnastics, like, you hit that landing and everything needs to be, like, in the same spot still.
Yeah, it's execution.
Versus like on a bodybuilding stage, like, you're getting points for I don't know how they score it.
It's I don't know because I'm not like a super pro in that part of it, but I do
You're
know.
Super pro.
I'm not super pro yet, but in terms of stage presence, it definitely comes with overall, like, flow is a big part of it.
Okay.
So, like, you'll notice, like, a lot of the figure girls, like, do this, like, really nice flowy thing. When I do it, I'm like, I don't look good.
So is that the goal for next year? Is, like, I guess, what are the things that you want to work on next year to win?
To do better.
The only way to do better is win. She took second, guys. We're going to clip this up when she wins. We're speaking it into existence right now.
Fingers crossed. So the biggest thing for me, I want to go on stage with more poses to my routine, because this year we kept it very simple. Jody knew that I would get overwhelmed if we tried to add too many poses in and too many transitions.
Yeah.
So even when we do, like, that lineup of all of us on the stage, of us, the comparison round, I would turn and just go right into my pose. Some girls, like, turn their leg and their arms and they look so beautiful. I was like, just do the basics.
I think the biggest thing from an objective point of view, watching you on stage, you looked like you wanted to run off stage the entire time.
Yeah, I did. Because when I'm up there, I'm like, get me off.
I know. So, like, me looking at, like, I could literally tell. I was like, yo, she looks like she wants to run off.
Yeah, because I'm terrified. I'm petrified.
Yeah.
Like, petrified.
So how do we get better at that?
I think you know what it is? For me, when I'm standing in line watching the other girls go, in my head, I'm like, wow, they look so good and they look so fluid. I'm like, I know I don't look like that. So in my head, I'm like, the faster I get off stage, the less people will notice. But it's also just like a fear factor thing. Like Legion, I ran off stage at Legion so fast, I fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had to catch me because I rolled my ankle down the stairs. I was like, you know what? Pain's not real. It's fine.
Oh my goodness.
But I just wanted to get off that stage. Olympia was a little better.
It was a little different. You talked, well, I guess pre-stage, like, you were very...
super nervous.
I was about to say confident in the sense of, compared to Legion. Like, the way you talked was different.
Yes, I was happier going into Olympia, but I think because there was no pressure.
Yeah.
I went into Olympia just being like, I don't even think I was going to get here.
Yeah.
So for me to perform there, I was like, you know what? This is just, my parents are here, my friends are here, my sister's here. I was like, I'm just performing for them.
You had a whole squad.
I had a whole squad. I love that my squad comes. You guys are the freaking best.
I was like, this is so cool because, like, everyone flew from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere. I had, what is it? I had 6 people from Toronto, 3 people from LA. James, no, James wasn't at Olympia, but James came to Legion. But like everyone comes from everywhere, and I just messaged in a group chat like, hey, I'm competing. If you guys want to make it, you can come and stuff. And so it was really nice to have you guys in the crowd because at least I know there's like 8 people in the crowd who are like rooting for me. You know what I mean? And I think that means the most.
Yeah. Do you think about that on stage?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I do. I think going on stage, I'm like, obviously make myself proud, but I'm also performing for the people that I care about most, which is everyone who's come to watch me.
Why is that such a big motivator to you?
Because I'm very much, I don't know what kind of personality trait this is, but I'm very much like, I want to make the people that I care about proud. The people who like traveled all this way to support me, who have supported me through my entire journey, just knowing that I can like perform for them and do well makes me feel really good to like make them proud.
Yeah. What makes a good friend to you?
Honestly, just someone who's supportive.
Because I feel like all your friends are...
my friends are the best.
Very awesome.
Yeah. I feel like a good quality trait like across the board for all my friends is that it's the whole saying of like, just because someone else's light is shining bright doesn't mean that like yours can't or whatever. Like, it's the whole point of like, we're all aware that you can be successful, I can be successful, we can celebrate each other's success.
Yeah, there's like enough cake out there.
Exactly, and not feel like, oh, it's a threat. Like, oh my gosh, like Nate has a podcast, I'm threatened. Like, it's never like that. If anything, it's like, holy crap, like this is the freaking coolest thing. Like, how can I help you
Sure.
in any way I can, and how can I support it any way I can? And I think that's like everything that my friends have, and I think that's why I am such a successful person, because the people I surround myself with are also successful in what they do, and everyone just comes together to support each other.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing of just me cutting off people in the last few years. It's just like I want to celebrate the wins of all my friends, and like if you can tell a friend if they're envious.
Yeah,
you can tell if they are not happy for you. Like, they could say it.
Yeah,
You could, but you know.
Yeah, there's a certain
you can
energy
tell.
that there's a something.
It's you feel the vibrations, as woo woo as that sounds. Like you have an inclination that like, oh wow, you don't feel happy for me.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like you're saying all the right words, but the emotion behind it is like empty.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? Do you cut them off, or do you just keep them around? Like, say it's like a childhood friend.
I would say I'm pretty much like similar to you in the fact that like I've cut off most people who aren't genuinely happy, because at the end of the day, like I want to be surrounded by like-minded people, because they say like the 5 people you surround yourself with is like the sum of who you are. And so I don't want to be a sum of someone who's not happy for other people. You know?
Love that.
So
What do you call it? What's your definition of success? Because you said you're a successful person, but like that's subjective.
yeah, so I would say I'm successful in the fact that when I set out to do something, I usually do it.
Okay.
That's like
I love that.
That's like what is it? It's like, if you're gonna say it, didn't we talk about this?
I think so.
Something like this, where it's like, do what you say or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Or don't say it at all.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. The biggest thing is like, do what you say you're gonna do. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like,
It's the biggest thing.
Like, especially for friends, if you say you're gonna be there at a certain time, be there. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it also builds confidence for yourself. Like, if you say you're gonna do this competition, like if you do it, you're gonna feel confident. Like, oh, I did what I said I was gonna do. And for friend wise, like, oh, I'm gonna be there for this person, or I'm going to this art class with this person. Like, oh, I have more confidence in this relationship, this friendship. Like, we committed to this thing.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's a trusting thing. It's like now you can trust that person with responsibilities and stuff like that. I think success also comes with, it's not for me anymore. I used to be very money based. It's not anymore. It's more about like, am I successful? Can I take time out of my life to do things that I enjoy that aren't anything business related? Like, can I go hang out with my friends? Can I go travel? Can I visit my parents? Like, can I take time away from something that is monetary to enjoy my life? Like, I consider that success.
I feel like you've done that a lot more.
Yeah, I've tapped into that part, because before I used to just be like, I need to make this much money to be successful.
Yeah.
And then you look at yourself and you're like, okay, I'm making all this money, but like, what am I doing with it? Like, am I happy? Like, am I spending all my time just like in the trenches?
Yeah, that's one thing. I work with a lot of, I guess, like monetarily successful like clients, and like I see them very unhappy sometimes. So it switched my perspective on like what success is, because I was around that a lot.
Yeah,
you know, you're like, oh, because like I'll go run mountains the same day and like go work out with friends and like cook food, go to a great restaurant, go to the beach all in the same day, while like this person is grinding his ass off in an office, right? And I was like, oh, I think I like my life better.
Yeah.
You know?
Your life is so full.
Yeah.
Like, just through your Instagram stories, I'm like, yo, Nate's living.
I'm living.
You know what I mean?
I'm living. Like, I'm confident to say I'm really happy.
Yeah.
You know? And again, doing what you want to do. Like,
exactly.
What you said. I guess, what does Taylor do for her fun times with friends?
Usually work out, travel, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. To me, like,
do you have any hobbies?
I like Lego.
Oh, the Legos.
I had to get super serious.
This is a new hobby.
Yes, literally on Friday, I had no Legos built. I now have 6. I love Lego.
Okay, can you explain Legos built? Because like for people out there, at least for me, when you said Lego initially, I just think about.
Did you think like big Lego, like Duplo
no,
Lego?
like when you told me like a few weeks back, I was just like, you just want to build Legos?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean build Legos?
So good.
So I know, but it's different. It's like a kit.
Yes,
right?
it's a kit. It's very instruction.
Yeah.
So you get a box. I have the bonsai tree, the infinity gauntlet.
Okay.
And then I have the orchid, and then I also have a sunflower, a camera, and then a little Togepi. It's a Pokemon.
A sunflower and a camera.
Yeah.
Like built out of Legos.
Out of Lego.
Okay.
So cool.
What does building Legos do for you?
It's really meditative.
Okay.
I'm not gonna I'm not someone, I can't sit in a room and meditate. I'm just like, my brain is going too fast and stuff like that. I'm sure if I worked on it, I'd be great at it and, focused on it, but I don't. And so for me, Lego's a time where I can just like focus on scrolling through the book and building it exactly how it's supposed to look. And it's like a sense of accomplishment when you finish. Then you have this really cool thing of Lego.
How long does it take you?
Yo, I'm not gonna brag, but I'm pretty fast at Lego.
Like, so this whole kit, like how many pieces would you say is in it?
It's like over 1,000. Like, I think it was like 1,000.
Like you finish it in a day?
No, I finished in an hour.
What?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna brag, but I'm pretty good at Lego.
She's bragging, guys.
Like if there's a competition, I might have to enter.
There probably is.
It's so fun though. I guarantee you do one Lego and you're hooked.
So I have a buddy who does Legos, but for cars. He has like Lamborghinis, Porsche, like all. I was like,
they look sick.
They do look sick, but like this guy's like in his 40s. Not saying there's nothing wrong with like building Legos in your 40s, guy. In my opinion, I'm just like, that's cool, but like this grown, I just see this grown 40-ish
just sitting on the floor, just
doing Legos. It's cool, but like I can't see myself doing that.
It's so fun though.
Well, I have to get one.
Just maybe get one. Like get one that could be like a decor piece,
Okay.
Because as much as I would
like, what would you recommend? Like, I guess for this space, bonsai tree. We can match.
Yeah.
I might have to do it.
You should. It's honestly so fun. And then when you do it, you're gonna text me, be like, "Yo, Dylan, this was kind of fun."
Does it give you kind of like peace to seeing a Lego bonsai tree versus a regular bonsai tree?
Yeah, because you don't have to water it and all that stuff. Like it's decoration.
Yeah, all my plants are dead. You don't see any plants in here anymore.
Yeah, I don't see.
I'm not getting my oxygen.
Yeah, Lego. I guarantee you. I
are
feel
you still on the golfing game?
Oh, I golfed once and went terrible. And like I will go back to it when it's warm in Canada.
Okay.
It's too cold.
We got to go.
I'm terrible right now. One of my friends wants to go with me and I'm like, listen, I need to not be horrendous before I ever golf in public again because right now I'm airballing it.
Yeah.
You know when you swing so hard and you just miss the ball completely and you're like, oopsies. That's me. That's me right now.
I haven't had that in a long time. Because I tried becoming a professional golfer at one point. Did I tell you that?
No.
You don't know that?
Never.
So I decided.
It's a fun fact.
I used to go to. I didn't go to uni, as the Canadians call it, a 4-year university because I wanted to pursue professional golf.
I didn't know this about you.
And one of my buddies who I grew up with ended up becoming top 5 in the world at one point. And I was really into it.
Yeah.
And that's what taught me a lot about like fitness and disciplines because I'd go out at like 7 a.m. and I'd go home at like 7 p.m. and I'd just hit balls all day.
Oh my gosh, you are hardcore.
Hardcore.
I definitely can't golf in front of you. You're gonna look at me and be like, "That's disgusting."
No, I'm saying we should go out because I want to help you.
Okay, my swing is bad now.
Do you like it?
I do like it when I'm better at it.
What do you like about golf?
It's challenging.
Okay.
Don't you find like I think like in consideration to like other sports, which is it's like they're very big changes. Golf is like the smallest little thing. Like the angle of which your wrist, breaks or not breaks will determine your swing if it's good or not.
100%.
Whereas like a squat, like, if my wrist is like here, like.
Yeah, there's one thing. Once you hit it, I'm assuming you have a couple times, but once you hit the golf ball in the center of the club face and it just goes skyrocketing straight.
That's what keeps you hooked.
It's like, whoa.
You're like, I could be PGA pro right now.
Or because like, I don't know, basketball, you get that sensation like when it goes in a hole or a net. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is from a historical or a primal standpoint of like,
I think it's just
getting into the target.
Yeah.
Like a dartboard or axe throwing,
Yeah, it's just a sense of like, holy shit, I'm so good at this. And that's what keeps you hooked,
it's like
though.
aimed. It's your aim, right?
Yeah. And you like land like right on the green or something. You're like, should I just go pro now?
There's so much detail and science into sports now, though.
There is. Do you ever, hot take. Do you ever think things are too overanalyzed?
Yes and no. No, because all the sports are evolving.
Yes, I would agree. Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, Steph Curry in basketball. Mm-hmm. You didn't think there could be a shooter like that.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And now it's real. Or like the 4-minute mile, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's breaking 4 minutes now. It's a normal thing, right? Yeah. For golf, my buddy evolutionized it because he has a single length golf clubs, right?
What's that mean?
All the clubs that he has in his bag are the same length. Versus like most people don't.
Yeah,
And
they're different lengths.
Yeah, and the reasoning is because he was like a physics major, and he was just like, oh, like if you have the same length, you have the same swing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because the longer it is, like your swing plane is going to change. And if you just change the weight and the angle of the club,
less variables.
By science, it should go further but have less variables, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what I mean, bodybuilding too, like all the different types of supplements or the research, or like, for example, like creatine is the most studied supplement like out there. And it's shown to help brain health now too. You know? And you're just like, yo, so I would say yes, but no in the sense of it could be less fun.
I think sometimes it takes away the fun. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
When people like break down your stuff so much, sometimes you're like, hey, it was just a good swing. It was a good rep. It was whatever. When people are like, oh, you're kind of like, okay.
Like when you like when you and Jody broke down your bodybuilding poses on your YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about like your thigh gap and like all these things. I was like, it looks the fucking same, dude. But,
I know, right?
But like it's the little things that make everything better.
Yeah, exactly. So like I agree with you. Like to overanalyze things is good because it makes us better athletes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But from like an enjoyment point of view, if you're just someone who's like doing it for fun, amateur wise, I don't think it has to be as scientific. Or like newbies who are first starting, I wouldn't recommend to go like super analytical into it. Just like enjoy the process.
Yeah. What are the characteristics that you believe you have that got you to the definition of the success that you just described?
I think I'm very focused.
Okay.
Like, and goal oriented in terms of like I said, like when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Like I structure my entire day around achieving specific things, and like I'll remove things from my life if I need to in order to get to the goal that I've set out.
Like, what's Taylor's day to day then?
I wake up at 6, take my dog for a 20-minute walk.
Shouts out Rocket.
Raising Rocket, follow him.
Yo, that dude's a monster.
He's a little
in the cutest
he's a little
way.
gremlin.
Yeah, he's got an attitude.
Oh, he's very much.
Honestly,
Love
it's my
him,
entertainment. I only follow 2 dog pages. It's Rocket and like I follow a Vishla page.
Yeah.
They make my day.
I love Rocket.
They make me smile.
Yeah, because he's just a little character.
Yeah.
But no, my day's super organized in the fact that like Rocket gets priority, obviously, because I have to take care of him. So he gets his walk in the morning, and then I have my breakfast that's outlined in my meal plan. I do my clients, which is usually anywhere from like 9 to 1, and then I take meetings until 2. And then I don't do any meetings after that. Like I've cut off my work day at like 2 o'clock sharp. That's it.
Goals.
I'm just like, after 2 o'clock, it's me time. It's my workout time, my stretching, my skill work, everything like that.
I love that.
Because that's the time that I use for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And my goal is that I want to do better this year. And so I feel like...
So is that the checklist for what do you mean by focus? It's like, okay, I need to walk Rocket. I need to do these clients.
Yeah.
And then it's like focus on the skills that I want to develop and to achieve the bigger goals.
The bigger goals. Yeah. I need to check off the little small things in my life to keep everything in balance.
Yeah.
And then I have time for that other stuff that I can really focus on as much as I want to.
For someone who's so disorganized, like there's a lot of people out there who don't have structure in their life. You know?
Calendar. Be a calendar person.
Calendar person.
I live and breathe by my calendar.
Me too.
If it's in my calendar, it's happening. If it's not in my calendar, I have no idea.
Taylor, like a month ago, she's like, Nate, can we plan like what we're gonna do when I come to visit LA in a couple months? I was like, yeah, let's get to it. I think that's why I love hanging out with you or planning things, because like I live by my calendar.
Yeah, if it's in my calendar, it's happening. When we were scheduling this podcast, you're like, are you sure you want to do it on the day you arrive? I'm like, if it's in my calendar, we're doing it.
Yeah. And right on time, too.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
So...
I was so last year was the most efficient year in terms of the calendar. Like I planned every hour.
Good.
Every hour.
Yeah.
People think that's crazy.
No, it's good. Like, because when you plan your calendar, you have to plan, like, if you have to go somewhere, you have to plan, like, when you have to leave for that, when you have to get ready for that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole system.
The biggest form of, I guess, discipline. Because, like, if you cross off every single, do you color coordinate your calendar?
Of course. Of course.
I don't know what it is for psychology, but like you just need
the more colors, the better. Like honestly,
if it was all the same color, like I don't think I would pay attention to it.
No, because it doesn't have the same. Like when you color code things, it's importance, right? You have like your work, your social. Like my social's purple, and then my work stuff's all blue. Is that yours too?
My social's purple. My work is red.
Oh, my work is blue.
Okay.
My gym is like a light purple.
Mine's yellow.
Yellow. So that's so like in your face.
I don't know. Yellow is just like bright. Like it's a
That's
bright
true.
part of my day.
Oh.
Yeah, I think about that. Red, I don't know. Red is just like work.
Like
Like
grr.
grr. But also I'm colorblind, so like I don't know.
So they might not even be those colors.
They might not even be those colors. I mean, they are because they say they
I'll
are.
look at your calendar, and red will actually be like black.
Also, colors are like moody too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your favorite color?
Tiffany blue.
Okay.
Tiffany blue is my favorite color. Tiffany blue is my favorite color to look at.
Explain Tiffany part.
Like, you know, like Tiffany & Co? Like that blue box that you get jewelry in? Love that teal. It's a beautiful light teal.
I haven't had the privilege of getting a Tiffany in blue box.
Not yet. Not yet. But that's my favorite color to look at. My favorite color to wear is red, which is why whenever I compete, I will always be in red.
Oh.
It's my competition color.
Wait, why again? Sorry?
Red?
Yeah, why?
Because it's the color that looks best on me. Because I have dark features. I have like dark eyes, dark eyebrows, dark hair.
And
then red just like
goes with
pops.
that?
Yeah.
Well, those red backgrounds doesn't make you pop.
Yeah. Well, don't you know like Asians wear red?
No.
You don't know this?
No.
No, of course we do. Because that's our wedding dress color technically.
So
like if you're like from Asia. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I am very whitewashed because I'm adopted.
So when I go to your wedding, you're gonna be wearing a red dress.
No, because I'm whitewashed, so I'll be white. I am very much white.
What do you mean by whitewashed? Obviously, your parents are white.
Yeah. So I grew up in a very like North American culture. I did not grow up in an Asian culture at all.
Yeah.
So in terms of like regular traditions,
You love
and
Asian food though.
Love Asian food.
Yeah.
Love it.
We went way too hard at what's the dumpling place? You were here last time, Century City.
Din Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung.
Yeah. Oh, bro. We went. It was you, me, Patrick, and Will Tenney, and I was just on that menu because there was no pictures, and I was just like, yep.
And then I was like, Taylor, are you sure we're good? Like we could order another. And she was like, yeah, let's order a couple more. I'm like, okay.
We ate so much food.
We ordered way too much food.
Yeah, a lot.
Are you a leftovers person?
I am a leftovers person.
I like leftovers.
I mean,
too.
less so now that I'm in prep, because if I go eat for my cheat meal, that's the only day I can't eat the leftovers the next day, and they obviously won't keep for a week. So I'm a leftovers person because all my meal prep is technically leftovers.
Do you cook everything?
Yes.
Do you cook now?
Well, cook.
No. Ground beef and all that stuff. Like, yeah. Because like I remember when you're at Olympia though, you had.
Oh, that'll meal prep everything just for the sake of like easy to travel. Because when I get my stuff from JW Foods, they vacuum pack it all. And so for travel,
at home you cook your stuff.
Yeah, at home I cook everything.
Okay.
So my fridge is just all meal prep.
I'm trying to figure out the most efficient way to eat nutrient-dense foods. Like, what's your process?
So I cook everything on Sunday.
So you cook everything?
Yeah, like my rice, my chicken, my ground beef, my vegetables.
How much of each?
Like I think I usually do like 4 chicken breasts and like a package of ground beef.
Of like a pound? Like 1 pound?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And
like
then,
the squares?
Yeah.
That's a pound, okay.
Yeah, and then rice, I do 3 cups of rice.
Wait, so for the whole week you only have 4 chicken breasts and a...
No. So that's from like Monday to like Wednesday/Thursday because then I have to prep more food from Thursday to Sunday.
So you're not reheating a thing for the whole week?
Not the whole week, but like from Monday to Wednesday, it's all reheated.
Okay, so Monday, Wednesday, and then it's like...
And then it's like Thursday to Fridays, or Thursday to Sundays also reheated. Because I cook more food on the Wednesday.
So do you not eat out at all?
Only once a week.
Once a week?
That's my refeed.
And what days is that?
Usually a Saturday or a Sunday. I like to make it Saturday only because my check-in with Jody is on Tuesday morning.
Got it.
So if I have it on Sunday, like I'm still like a little bit more watery and inflamed. So it's like a little bit less accurate.
I run most of my clients through the slow carb diet. Have you heard of it?
No.
So it's Tim Ferriss wrote this book called do you know who Tim Ferriss is?
No.
He wrote The 4-Hour Body and The 4-Hour Work Week. You probably heard of the 4-Hour
Actually, no.
Work Week.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Okay. So the 4-Hour Body is where he talks about like changing your body. If you want to lose weight, if you want to gain weight, if you want to build muscle, XYZ. He has a ton of like well-researched like scientists on there basically explaining. But he came up with this thing called the slow carb diet. And it's basically what you just said. He doesn't really have a ton of carbs in it for losing weight, but it's basically beans, your protein. So you could choose any protein like meat, chicken, fish, beans, and vegetables, Monday through whatever. And then one day a week, you eat a fuck ton of bad food. Like it spikes up your whatever. And then your body's like...
Your body needs it.
Needs it. And then wants to burn calories and so on and so forth. And it's very sustainable.
Oh, yeah.
It's very sustainable. It's not as strict as bodybuilding, but like for someone who isn't trying to be a bodybuilder and just trying to lose weight, I think it's really, really great. Because like that also has like, oh, you're not allowed to have alcohol, but you're allowed to have it on that one day. So it's like you could have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, that's good.
And still get like
good results.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people who can't count macros.
Well, a lot of people don't even know what a macro is.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, wait, so what's a protein? Like, I think I had one of my clients be like, oh, I had broccoli today. I had protein. And I was like, not really.
No. Yeah. So we were talking to Austin Dottie.
A-Dottie. Shout out A-Dottie.
Shout out A-Dottie.
One of my besties.
Besties. And he doesn't believe in vegetables.
Yeah, Austin doesn't like vegetables.
Does it like or does it like I think he truly believes that they're not like good for you.
Yeah, he just has like greens, I'm pretty sure.
Like do you believe vegetables are important?
I think so. Like, I'm someone where it's like supplements are exactly that. They're a supplement. My diet, I would never use them to replace anything. So I also just like the taste of vegetables. Like,
what's your favorite vegetable?
Ooh, I like cauliflower a lot.
Cauliflower.
I know. Like, if there's like a veggie tray at a party.
Have you ever had? My mom used to make. She used to call them cauliflowers.
Oh, like cauliflower potatoes. Like how cauliflower can be anything. It can be pizza crust. It can be pasta. It can be like anything.
Yeah. So like, my mom like was like, oh, these are mashed potatoes growing up.
No, but it's cauliflower.
It's cauliflower. And so like I was just into it. I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is dope.
Yeah.
So like yeah, have you ever had like a cauliflower mashed potato? It's like really good. Yeah. And then
I like cauliflower. I love it in
cauliflower
everything.
is just everything.
Like cauliflower steaks where you like chop them thick and then like make them like they're good. Like I love cauliflower.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite vegetable.
I thought it was gonna be something green.
Well, on prep it's zucchini and spinach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zucchini and spinach, that's the go-to.
Okay. It's what got me through my like last 2 months of prep. Because my carbs disappeared. So I was like, what do I enjoy?
Is zucchini a vegetable or a fruit?
So apparently. It's a fruit.
I don't like when I think about zucchini, I just like in the squash category, like it doesn't taste like a vegetable. I'm just like, I don't know.
You don't think it tastes like a vegetable? I think it tastes like a vegetable.
Like when you cook it, I feel like it's just like a filler food, like a mushroom. Like, that's like what I think. Like you have zucchini with your rice, like that's mushrooms and rice and steak. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like hardcore like a carrot.
This is just my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
it's not a starchy vegetable.
Like broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like on prep, for instance, when I was in, I think it was Legion, I had run out of veggies, and Jody actually told me not to have broccoli because it's just like more of a heavy, especially like raw broccoli. It'll cause me to bloat more. So like,
really,
just zucchini and spinach is easier to digest.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
What's the importance of having a coach?
Oh, because by the end of your prep one, you just like don't care to like pay attention to those details, and someone else will for you. But also like, it's a great external motivator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like to someone who sees your stuff on social media or just you in the gym, they're like, oh, she knows her shit. Like she knows how to work out. She knows how to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Like
I could definitely do it.
It doesn't make sense for her to have a coach.
I just don't want to do it. Because again, it's that extra brain power that like if someone else can just take that over, it's great. I also think it's really important to have someone who is an outside perspective look at you, because you can look at yourself and if you see yourself every single day, you don't see the changes, but someone who hasn't seen you in like a week or 2 weeks, they can look at you and be like, oh no, like I noticed this change about you. So that's why having a coach is really great, because they can just look at you from like a non-biased opinion or whatever, because we're also the worst critics of ourselves. Like even like on my show days, I was like, I look like shit. I was like, I don't want to go on stage, because you just like and then you have a coach who's also there for like that positive reinforcement.
It's like affirm like you put in a lot of work, dude. Like, you go kill it.
And sometimes you just need that moral support. Like I would text Jody being like, I'm struggling today. And she's like, that's part of it. Yeah. Sometimes you need someone with tough love. You need the support, and like that's exactly what a coach does for you.
That's the biggest thing too. Like when you sign up for something, it's going to be hard. Yeah. And then in the hard moments, like you sometimes knowing that like this is what hard feels like. Yeah. This is what the depths of it's because feel like. And like you have to go through them to become that person.
I think it's honestly, as long as you're in a good mental state, I think everyone should go through like a regimented diet and workout plan at one point, because it really does have so much character development. Like I personally think like I'm a much better person now.
Much better person?
Yeah. Like I think like characteristic wise, I think I'm a much stronger person I am after prep than before prep.
I think so. It's very admirable because like I'm not great at following a diet, but I'll hit I know I need to hit my protein like to sustain my muscle mass, and that's really it. That's all I really care about. And that's why I want to do the bodybuilding shows. Like I think I will be a stronger person if I do it.
You will be. It's a
like,
crazy development.
Powerlifting is just you hit your numbers.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go in the gym, I'll lift these weights, but I think working out is way easier, at least for me.
So easy.
Than diet.
Yeah. Now working out when you're starving, that's different. That's really hard.
Yeah. How do you get through that? Because you get very emotional.
Oh yeah, I cried so much during prep. I haven't cried so much on my social media in years, and then all of a sudden I was just crying on every platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was a good part of it though. Is like I was always so scared to be emotional on my social media, but like now I'm like, if I cry, I cry. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, because you're so depleted.
Yeah.
Like you just sad.
And what do you just think about like the goals and like the end results like to get through that sadness, or do you just sit in it?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
It depends on the day. Some days I need external help from my friends to be like, you know, pump me up a little bit. Some days I like to sit in it because it is really important to like feel all your emotions and like understand like why you're suffering and everything like that, and like it is worth it. And then other days I try to like do that, like not the cheesy motivational stuff, but the thing where it's like, what would the person who's chasing first place, what would they be doing right now? How would they be acting? Would they be wallowing in self-pity, or would they be like getting up and going to the gym? You know?
And you're like, I want to be that.
I want to be the second person. I want to be the person where it's like, this friggin' sucks, but like we set out for a goal and we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
last time you were on the podcast, you were talking about how like your story about like how you started as a personal trainer at, was it 24? No.
23, I think. 22?
No, 24-hour fitness.
21.
24-hour fitness. No, what
LA
gym?
Fitness.
LA Fitness. LA Fitness in Canada.
Yeah.
And like you were bouncing all these clients and XYZ, and like obviously you weren't at where you are now financially as well as like life.
Yeah.
You know, and
super beginner.
And so like what drove you back then was like, oh, I want to get to this point to have a better quality of life, XYZ. And now you're there. Like you're kind of comfortable. I mean, it to a certain extent, like obviously you're choosing these challenges, like these bodybuilding shows, and like maybe a new skill and like that to keep you progressing in life. But I guess what drives you now? Like, because back then it was from a hungry standpoint. Like I'm hungry for I'm hungry. I want to prove people wrong. I want to become this type of person, and you are this type of person now.
It's crazy because I still don't think I am.
Okay.
I think that's what probably keeps me pushing for more is because it was funny enough. I was talking to my friends like Felly and Godfrey about it this weekend. We were watching, shout out my friends. We were watching like an NFL game, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how sick would it be to be like an NFL player, like super sick at your sport, and people just know like you're that guy. Yeah. And Felly and Godfrey looked at me and they're like, Taylor, like that's you. And I was like, I don't think so. And so I think it's that like in my head, I'm still not where I want to be yet.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what keeps me going. So like,
where do you want to be then?
I can't like put it into words, but like I know I'm not there yet.
Okay.
You know, like don't get me wrong, like, I'm super grateful for all the success I've had. Yeah. And I'm like I'm enjoying those moments.
So it's still hungry.
But I'm still hungry for like more.
Yeah.
I think it's like I was talking to, again, I'm shouting out so many people, Mitch Hooper, recently World's Strongest Man. Okay. And we sat down on the table.
Is that the guy you did the food stuff with?
This food swap with, yeah. Super great guy. But we were talking about our 5-year plan, and mine was very business oriented of like, oh, I want to reach this.
You have
and
a 5-year plan?
Well, on the spot I did. He asked me a question. I was like, okay, let me answer this. Yeah. But his...
What was your response?
Mine was a 5-year plan. I want to be like more, like my YouTube growth, I want to see that. Okay. I want to be more of like a fitness name that people know more of. Like obviously some people know me now, but I just want to be more like standalone. You know what I mean?
Like, give me an example. Like Arnold?
Yeah, or like Chris Bumstead. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or Steve Cook. Like these people, when you say their name, you know exactly who they are. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that's what I was aiming for. But when I talked to him, he was like, oh, I want to make sure like in the next 5 years that I build like a legacy, a message behind what I'm doing. And ever since that conversation, I would say like that has been my
message behind what he's doing.
Yeah, so his message is lift heavy, be kind.
Okay.
Like, that's how he lives his life. That's his mantra. And I think that's really important because he's the world's strongest man. He's the nicest guy in the gym. Like, he doesn't have any type of, like, cockiness or arrogance or anything. Like, he's just a really friendly guy. And people are going to remember him for, like, his character traits. And so I think from that, that's something that I'm really trying to focus on in the next 5 years, too, is, like, I want to be known as, like, obviously LittleTfitness, but, like, what else is there to me? Like, I want to also be someone who's remembered as, like, a fitness person who is motivating, like, other women who are petite, Asian, and are able to be successful in the space. Like, I want to leave a message behind more than just athlete. I want to have, like, an overall, like, motivating
I feel like you already
mantra.
do that.
But even bigger.
Even bigger.
Bigger.
Okay. I guess how do you achieve that?
I think it's just
Doing more of the same?
doing more of the same stuff, but also just doing more. Like, I have a panel talk this weekend at the Fit Expo where I get to, like, talk about my journey and stuff like that. So just, again,
Are you going to be at a booth at all for a little bit?
I'm going to be bouncing around between, like, Corey's booth, George's booth, Marine, and Oksana's booth.
Okay.
So I'll be at a couple booths. But just, like, when I meet people, I think the biggest thing is also, like, have a good connection with them. So that way people, when they, like, what is the saying? When it's, like, when you meet your person you look up to. I also want to make sure that I'm a person when people meet me, like, it's like they're happy to meet me and that it's not like,
Probably like they meet the expectation that they have in their head.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I see this version of Taylor on her social media. She smiles after everything.
Yeah.
Is she that person like when I meet her?
Or is she just like a kind person? Like, is she thoughtful? Is she,
Yeah.
And like, I always try to make it a point when I meet people to, like, ask their name or, where their fitness journey started, or like if I meet them at, airport, mall, whatever, I'll be like, oh, like, are you from this area? Is this your home gym? Like, I genuinely want to get to know these people rather than just being like, hi, bye.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have a good connection so that way when
It's hard to do, especially when you're, I guess, low energy.
Oh, yeah, on prep, super hard to do. But again, you have to channel that to be that step above, that person that you want to leave behind.
Yeah.
Like, when social media is all said and done, people are gonna be like, oh, LittleTfitness, yeah, like, I met her, she's so nice, she motivated me to do this. Like, I want that instead of like, oh, LittleTfitness, she does cool stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think there's like a big difference.
So are you doing anything differently on social media platforms to show more of your personality per se? Because like from Instagram for the longest time, it was just like cool videos.
Cool videos, yeah. I do mic'd up stuff now. I've been
Okay.
trying to do that so that way people can really see, like, one, it's not one and done. It's like shocking. It's like takes a little bit longer. And then on my YouTube channel, like, I want to start vlogging more so people can see me more in like a casual environment.
The skill mic'd up ones are very entertaining because like you see the finished product, but
yeah.
like how long does it take you to achieve some of those? Like
Sometimes long. Like, I did a mic'd up one recently, and I remember looking at the video being like, I got this one. This one's gonna be easy. And then it took me like at least 15 tries. I want to say. Okay, maybe not 15, maybe like 12 to 15.
15's not that a lot though.
To me, it is though.
Dude, it is.
me,
Not
it
everyone
is.
is as cool as
To
Taylor.
me, that's a lot. Like, a good range for a challenge to me is like, okay, like if it takes me like 8 to 10 tries, like, I know it's challenging. When I push it to 15,
is there a day that like you don't hit the challenge?
I haven't hit that in a very long time. I was
Really?
actually talking to my videographer
So
about
100% of the time for like the last year.
it. Yeah, at least
What?
the last year and a half. I was talking to my videographer about it.
That's
I was
a
like,
superpower.
I was like, yo, dude, I was like, I don't think I've like failed at a challenge in a long time. He's like, I was gonna tell you that, but he was like, I didn't want to say anything. He's like, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've really like struggled
Yeah.
with a challenge.
The ones that you do with all the movie like scenes, not movie scenes,
Oh, like the split screens?
the split screens.
Love
those
those
are
ones.
so
Those are so
cool.
fun.
Where do you find them?
So one of them was a trend, like the Lazy Town push-up one was a trend.
Yeah.
And then Goku one, like, just anime. That you can pull so much content from anime in terms
But
of
you
the workout
just
stuff.
thought of it during the
Yeah.
day?
I was just like, oh, I want to, I remember seeing Goku doing a bunch of push-up variations, and I was like, I bet you I could probably do
Find
some.
one. Ah.
Yeah.
What's your creative process like? Like, obviously, the stuff that you are for Mobility Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
as well as a couple other things, are not just challenges that are on the internet. Like, you create them.
Yeah, a lot of them are created myself.
Yeah, like how do you think about it? Like, you just sit at home and just like...
Just like in my rocking chair.
Yeah.
Mobility Monday, I actually just make up on the spot. I just freestyle it on the spot.
Really?
I just tell my videographer, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do Mobility Monday. I'm most likely going to go this way, and then I'll probably end in this.
But you don't have it like structured out.
Not usually. I just like, and Mobility Mondays are fun because I can play around. There's so many variations of pistol squats
Yeah.
and everything and transitions. I can usually pump out like 3 to 4 just like on the
Yeah.
spot like that. The combos usually are inspired by movements that I've done in the past where I'm like, I wonder if I could connect it. Or if I see something on Instagram, I'm like, oh, that's something similar that I do. I wonder if I could connect it. So
I want to get my pistol squat back.
you lost it.
Lost it. So from running so much, my hips are just so tight and without proper stretching.
Yeah.
So I could do the pistol squat weighted as a counterbalance. Does that make sense?
With your heel staying on the ground?
Yeah. So like, but it's still like I need like a 30-pound
30 pound.
like to counterbalance it. But I could stand up and it's fine and it looks cool just because it's weighted.
Yeah.
But
It counterbalances you.
people don't know that I can't do it without it.
They're like, wow, it's so advanced. You're like, no, this is my crutch.
It is a crutch, right?
Yeah.
And people will see that it's like, oh, it's so cool, but like it's not. It's
Do you
like,
work a lot of your single leg movements? Like your negatives and your step ups? And,
for sure. It's just a stretching thing.
because your hips are just so tight.
Yeah, well, like I ran 32 miles, like prepping for that.
That's insane.
you know, and
know.
like your hips get super tight.
And you don't stretch after?
I do stretch, but it's not like
You don't stretch like enough?
it's not enough.
Yeah.
it's like
if you're running that much, you have to stretch.
Yeah, it's like a half-ass.
Yeah. Do you get any body work done? Like, do you get like...
I get a massage once every couple weeks.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Like
but
a massage or like a sports massage?
sports massage.
Okay.
Yeah, but like all those could be better. Like
Yeah.
it could be more regimented for the massage. It could be like a better stretching routine or this and that.
Yeah.
But like my goals right now are like powerlifting.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then the bodybuilding show. It's not really mobility, but I'm trying to do
Some
mobility.
of the poses will require mobility,
Yeah.
depending on what category
Like which
you do.
one? I don't know.
Like
Physique,
classic.
probably.
Classic does a lot of like low poses. You know?
Oh, like in a Cossack squat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that still.
Oh, okay. Then you're blessed.
Yeah.
You're blessed.
How often do you stretch?
I've become more regimented with that now
You have to, right? Because you're lifting so much.
because I'm lifting so much. Because I know if I slack on that, my mobility, especially like in my upper body, will go away. So I stretch like a good stretch now, like 3 times a week
Okay.
at least. And then I do like
What's a good stretch for LittleTfitness? Because
like it's like 30 minutes. Like
Okay.
sitting in like my front splits, side splits, doing my bridge work, also just working like my T-spine mobility, everything like that. So it's like a solid stretching. And then I make sure to actually like do a proper warm up, like good activation. Because I do notice now that I'm working my upper body more and heavier, I have my rotator cuffs are a little bit more like angry with me some days. They're like,
do you
hey,
do a lot of PVC pipe stuff?
instead of doing I just do banded.
Okay.
Like I'll do like the banded shoulder dislocates and stuff like that.
Dislocates.
That's what I call them.
I call them pass-throughs.
Both work. And like the ones over and over.
Where do you think? Yeah, I do those too. But where do you think? Where do you think people come up with these names? Because there's so many
There's
movements
so
out
many
there,
names.
but they're the same name for. I mean,
same
different name for the same things.
Like I call something elephants, where you like the hamstring stretch, where you like swoop the ground. What do you call them?
Say that again one more time.
I call them elephants.
Which one?
So like one knee's bent, one leg straight, and you like swoop the ground and stretch your hamstring.
Oh, I don't have a name for that. I just say do this.
I call them elephants.
Because track people do them differently. I mean, they do them the same, but they call a specific name.
Like hamstring swoops or something.
Yeah,
I've heard before.
Hamstring swoops.
Or even like
I really like those.
yeah, they're so
Like,
good.
like right under the booty.
Yeah, they're like a
man.
nice stretch.
Yeah.
Or another one.
Do you ever do Frankensteins?
That's what I was about to say. You call them Frankensteins. I just call them oblique twist.
Wait,
Just twist.
what are you talking about?
Like noink, noink. That one.
I'm talking about like opposite hand, opposite.
Yeah,
leg. Oh.
T-spine twist. I'm twisting
Oh.
my T-spine.
Oh, yeah.
But technically,
wouldn't know
Frankenstein.
that.
Yeah, my Mike calls them Frankensteins. He told me that the first time. I was like, "What do you want me to do?" Frankenstein to me is this.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Kind of looks like that, no?
Frankenstein doesn't go like this.
Oh yeah, you're right. It just stays here. It doesn't go back.
he just goes like this. Or some people call them zombies too. I've heard
Zombies.
both.
I've heard zombies.
Yeah, but it's crazy. There's so many ways. Like inverted rows versus an Australian row. Same thing, different movement. Oh, sorry. Same thing, different name.
Australian row from underneath the bar versus a what?
Inverted row.
Inverted row. I've never heard inverted row.
Really?
I always call them Australian rows, and everyone always asks me, like clients ask me, like, why is it called an Australian row? I was like, I don't know, probably some Australian guy, like.
Yeah. Same
did
with
it.
Bulgarian lunges.
Yeah.
Turkish get up.
Oh, there's a. With politics and everything like that, a lot of people haven't been saying like certain like
Oh,
movements.
Russian twist.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I mean, I guess I don't really post those kind of exercises on my account anyway, so like
Yeah.
it would never really come up for me. But
I mean, they do on your app, right?
yeah, but
Yeah. Or is the app pretty hands off now?
no, I'm still very hands on with my app.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like filming new content,
Yeah.
most of my library is built out. But I have new programs that
Isn't it
release.
so cool that you have an app?
I knew. It's
And
so
people
fun.
are just like
I
working
never
out with
thought in a million years that I'd have an app.
you. Yeah.
Like everything that I have currently now,
Why do you? So go ahead. Sorry.
I would never think I would have.
Like, why do you still work with clients?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah. Like it's just
like,
fun.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
it's just, I think it's a very
Are a lot of your clients your friends?
yeah. They're like people who were with me from before social media.
Yeah.
And I've talked about it a little bit in terms of a lot of my clients, like they know what I do now, but for the longest time they didn't. So it was nice to have a group of people that I could just coach and they had no idea what was on the other side of social media.
It kind of grounds you.
Yeah. It just
Yeah.
reminds you of like, this is what, like being hands-on with people and really like changing their lives in person is like the whole reason why I even started posting on social media.
I think it's really good for human connection because like I feel like there's a lot of creators out there who don't have that as much. Like
Yeah, we're all introverts.
Like right now we're having a good conversation and we're talking well, but like there's a lot of creators out there who I'll meet them and I'm like, are you okay,
Hello?
bro? Are you good? Hello? But they seem so like personable from behind a camera.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty across the board. Like I've
Really?
talked about this with a lot of creators. If you think about it, like most people who are creators, we just stay in our homes and we create content by ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we're not very social. And so for me, having my clients, having my friend group that I train with, I'm a very social person
Yeah.
in that regard. But I know a ton of people who are just like, I just make my videos and go home.
Yeah. How's it been, the YouTube style of media of actually talking to a camera? And that's been only for like a year now, right?
Yeah,
Or
like in
so.
terms of like being consistent with it.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how's that been?
It's gotten a lot better. Before I used to think my YouTube had to be like super professional. Like I couldn't make any mistakes, anything like that. Whereas now
What's a mistake in YouTube, though?
like I say if I'm like, oh, do that pistol jump instead of saying pistol squat or something, I'd be like, oh my God, start over.
Oh, just your vocabulary.
Yeah. Like I would never want to mess up my vocab.
Yeah.
And now it's like if I mess up, I'm like, ugh, words are hard. Try again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very more comfortable now.
What's the goal of YouTube compared to like any other social media platform for you?
I just want to feel happy with my content on YouTube.
Okay. What will make Taylor happy?
That I like it. That
you like it.
Not to say that I hate my videos by any means. Like obviously if I'm posting it, I'm happy with it. But I think for instance, when I share my Instagram, I'm very proud of my Instagram. I'm like, this is my baby, this is my bestie, this is my Instagram, you know? And when people ask do I have YouTube, I'm like, oh, I have YouTube. I'm like, don't look at it though, you know? Like it's a platform
What
that
makes you proud of your Instagram?
I love short form content. It's something that I, as a person, like intake a lot. Like I watch TikToks, I watch Instagram Reels, everything like that. I've never been a YouTube person. Like I've never sat down and like eat my meal and watch YouTube.
So like I'm the opposite. I love podcasts and I'll watch like a 3-hour podcast. I'll listen to like most of my content that I consume is
Long form.
all long form. That's why I also like making it,
Yeah.
right?
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah, like my short term content for the podcast as well as other things, like especially podcasts, like I outsource it. Like it's just like
It's just not fun.
it's just not fun for me.
Yeah.
Like I like having a conversation, really getting the nitty gritty, or like when I watch your YouTube videos, the long form ones, right? I'm just like, oh, like I it's like entertainment for me. Like it's in the background. I'm like, oh, this is what Taylor did at Olympia. This is how she felt. Like all these things. Versus like, I don't scroll on
Like
TikTok that
Instagram or
much.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that I miss on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And then you're like, did you see this? I was like, no, sorry. Like, but I did watch like this YouTube video or something
Yeah.
like that. You know.
Yeah. So I think for me, in terms of like,
Like what do you enjoy about the short form?
I just like the way it looks. Like when I tried to explain it to
Like
Austin recently.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
There's an aesthetic pleasing to like when you watch a specific video, you're like, that looks nice.
Like give me an example.
Like my box handstand step up.
I did see that one. Okay.
That one, like when I watch that video, I'm like, I like that video.
You're like, I
You
would
know,
watch this,
I'm like, I would watch this.
even though I created it. Like,
Yeah.
do
Like
you- do you-
sometimes I watch myself and I'm like, that's my favorite combo.
I'm so cool. Do you ever have, so like when I ran the ultra marathon recently, I was like, it kind of didn't feel real. Like the next day I was like, oh, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
Like when you look at that video of you doing the box handstand, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, do you ever feel like,
No, because it's crazy because that video was not supposed to be a posted video anyways. I just posted it that day because I was like, you know what, it's still a good video. I should post it. But originally that video was supposed to be a handstand box step up, handstand push up, and then go down into that floating split. So the one that I posted was like a backup.
Okay.
I still like the video.
yeah.
But I think what's different is with short form content, like YouTube videos, to find like background music is so annoying. Whereas
I
like,
hate it.
right? It's so annoying.
And like most stuff that is not, what's the word?
Licensed or copyrighted or
What
whatever.
is not copyrighted sucks ass.
It literally is like, everyone sounds the same.
Oh,
Whereas
we're gonna
on
use that
Instagram,
behind. That was a lot better than the most of them.
whereas Instagram, I can use mainstream music. So like, for instance, that box step up, it was like, look at me, you know what I mean? And it looks cool. And so when I'm creating it,
Okay.
I'm like, yes, I like this audio with this video.
Speaking of creativity, like, do you look up like mainstream music? Then you're like, oh, like this is something that I would put to that.
I really should do that. It
So
would
you
make my
don't.
life a lot.
So
It's by chance that when I have something like hit the beat, like all my push-up combinations,
Yeah.
it's because I spent like 15 minutes trying to find an instrumental that hits every single beat of my push-up.
Okay, so what do you search in the like search bar for Instagram?
It's
Like
just the trending sounds.
trending sounds, and you just
a little-
click.
Yeah, I just click and I like listen to them. I'm like, not that one, not that one.
Ah,
So
so you don't think of a song first.
no, I know some creators do, and I think it does make it easier. But
Yeah.
because of what I do, usually any type of like funk music will like go with my stuff.
Funk.
Gym funk.
Are we gonna make some cool stuff at the Ninja Warrior gym today?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But
Have
you
you ever
guys-
done a salmon ladder?
And I don't think I'm gonna be good at it. I did it once, like years ago.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get up one.
Really?
Yeah.
You definitely could.
I'm not pull plyo strong. Does that make sense?
It's okay. Jason's gonna walk you through it, but
Okay. Is it all rhythm, like momentum?
it's exactly like a muscle up. It's exactly like a muscle up.
But see, I can do a muscle up. I couldn't do that.
I know it's exactly like a muscle up though.
Okay. The other thing too
Sorry,
is I have really small
I apologize.
hands.
It's exactly like a kipping muscle up.
I can do kipping.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, everyone always asks why I don't do like those ninja stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very small person, and so a lot of those things are like such a big stretch for me, and I have really bad grip strength.
No,
so
you
like,
don't.
Yeah, Nate, I do.
You do pull-ups.
I know, but look at this. Look at my
Wait,
pinkies.
wait. Are they different
They're
sizes?
different lengths by like a lot. This hand grip strength is like 24.
Wait. I did not know
Look how
this.
small my pinky is.
Your pinky's tiny.
Yo, it didn't grow. Like legit.
Wait, can you do that again?
Like look.
Can you show the camera?
Where this way?
That
See?
way.
Can you see? They're completely different legs.
That's wild.
Yeah. So this grip strength in this hand is like half of this hand.
Yeah, not everyone's has perfect symmetrical
I know,
limbs.
but this really limits me on everything.
It's not as bad as some people. So like, there's this one guy who used to powerlift, and he had a almost a full inch platform on his right foot because his right leg was basically an inch shorter.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he literally had to have that, or else like your body's gonna be misaligned.
Oh yeah.
So
You'd be crooked.
every shoe,
Get it custom.
get it custom.
Yeah.
Like-
luckily mine are just my hands.
Yeah.
And it's just like a pinky too. Like it's
Yeah.
not like my arm or anything.
Also, if it's like a glove, like the glove doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
you don't need
or
to customize
I just wear wrist wraps.
wrist wraps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What did I get? I got the. Kind of turned on right now.
ASMR.
Well, the Versa grips. I just started using those.
The hook grips?
Yeah.
Do you like those?
I just started using them because I think it's because of bartending. I would shake a lot of tins, and one day I was working out and I was holding a dumbbell and I couldn't open it.
The tin or the dumbbell?
The dumbbell in my hand.
You couldn't open
I
it.
couldn't open up my hand.
I was like, no one can open a dumbbell.
I couldn't open up my hand.
Oh.
Like my forearms and hands would always cramp up. And
Interesting.
It's because like I'm gripping all day at work. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing I'm super excited about, I just put in my 2 weeks bartending. I want to thank you publicly because you've been a help in the guidance of how to build a proper training business.
Yes.
Because like it wasn't very structured.
No,
And then Nick was like, what? Taylor was like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
So I'll explain a little bit. Like, I always trained clients and I didn't have a proper like payment plan, or like I'd train them first and always have to chase people for payment. And Taylor's like, what are you doing?
I'm like, what are you doing chasing people for money?
Taylor was like, do you pay for your massage? Actually, I do pay for it after.
Doctor's appointment.
Doctor's
or
appointment.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's prepaid.
Yeah, it's prepaid.
Yeah.
You don't, and if you miss a session, too bad.
Yeah.
You pay.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Where did you learn your business stuff?
I think it was mostly just like my family's very business oriented. Like my dad's like accountant, my sister. So I think my business life comes from them. And so like my dad was the kind of person to be like, no, you don't do stuff until you're paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I think also working at a commercial gym, that was very much it too, because all the payments would be prepaid.
Yeah. Because
So.
like I feel like a lot of people don't see like business Taylor, like the
business
CEO Taylor,
The
you
business
know?
savvy side.
Yeah, because it's real. You're real good at it.
Thank you. Again,
You know?
I never think I am, but thank you.
You're welcome. But like, it's difficult. Like, you could be really good at your craft, but not make money doing it because you don't have the knowledge of business.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a big gap that a lot of people have.
You know?
You know, you talk to people and you're like, you're so talented. Like, you should be monetizing off of this somehow. And they're like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, XYZ.
For those people, where do they start? Like, say they're really good at a skill, right? How do they start monetizing a skill?
I think it's like, because realistically, everyone, especially like in social media, there's always a room for someone to want to like hire you as like brand awareness, whatever. I think it's you as a person knowing your own worth. A lot of creators do things for free. And like, by all means, like there's certain things that I still do for free as well. Like working with close friends or like more like local brands, stuff like that. Like I'll just do like posts and stories for exchange for product or whatever if I genuinely like the company or I have a connection with them.
Is that different for you because you already built a following? Like some people can't just work with like brands or a local brand because they don't have the following, but they might have the skill. Does that make sense?
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So like,
Okay.
like for someone who doesn't have a following, like yet, where do they start? How do they monetize the skill? Is it just getting a following, I guess?
Honestly, a lot. It could be getting a following. That's definitely one way to do it. I would say, sorry, I unclipped this. I'll clip back. Sorry for that. I was like fidgeting with it. But it's also just networking. Networking is a huge one. I would say like, and this goes towards everything. It's who you know, and it's just doing, you know, the in real life stuff that goes a long way for in terms of like being able to like monetize off your skill. Because if you talk to someone where you're like, oh, I don't know, I make balloon animals, and they're like, oh, like I know this show that's gonna make balloon animals. Let me hook you up with someone. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's connections.
Yeah.
I think that's how you monetize off yourself the best. One, knowing your own worth, that you should be paid for what you do and what you've studied and everything. But it's also putting yourself in a position for people to know what you do.
I think that's really good advice. One thing that I heard, I forgot who from, but soft skills are hard skills. Meaning like those networking skills, like a lot of people like kind of just like, oh, they're not important.
Yeah, it's super important.
But they're extremely important. You know, even if you're a coder, right? Someone's going to want to work with a coder who could have a proper conversation.
Yeah.
Like, who could be able to like work with you versus someone who could be the best coder in the world, but like
Just like a brick wall.
burp.
And you're just like, well, you're no fun to be around.
Yeah, that was one thing. I went to school with this one gentleman who didn't have many social skills, and he got hired for an internship at Facebook, and he was really good. But they didn't book him back for the next year. And in my opinion, it made total sense because he couldn't talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. People want to work with people who make them feel good. At the end of the day, like as selfish as that sounds, it's like, if I'm working with you and you make me feel good, like, oh, this person makes me feel happy, this person makes me feel like I'm sick, like you're gonna be like, I want to spend time with this person.
Oh, sick in the best way.
Yeah, like not like sick, like
I was like, what?
not like sick, like oh my gosh, like this person's like hyping you up type thing, or even just like brings in like a emotional response of like you know, nostalgia or whatever. Like at the end of the day, it's like how you make people feel is gonna go like a long way. Yeah.
So last time you were on the pod, we talked about role models. In terms of just social media and everything like that. You're doing stuff totally different than you were back then. Are you looking up to anyone new, or are there still people that like you look up to that you're kind of looking up and like, I want to, so cool, I want to be more like you type of deal, or not, or XYZ?
I still think it's the same. Like the people that I look up to are really like the people I surround myself with. Like I really do like admire a lot of my friends and how much hard work they put into. Yeah. One of my friends that I really look up to is Morgan. I just love her like outlook on life and her outlook on content. Like obviously she's been in the business a very long time, But she's someone.
She's about to have a baby.
Yeah, she's about to have a baby.
So cool.
I know. So exciting. So like knowing how well she does in social media and as well as she does like in her personal life, that's someone that I look up to. Someone who's able to balance both worlds. And she's also just like, she's free to be like exactly who she is. And I feel like a lot of people on social media have like a front and like they think they have to act a certain way, but Morgan's just like,
I mean, I would say the same thing about you though.
Yeah, and that's why I look up to her though. It's because like she's like someone where it's like, if she can do it and she's such a great person and she's exactly who she says she is, it's like that's how to be successful in this. Yeah. Yeah.
How's it? I don't think you didn't have Rocket yet.
When I started prep? Or no, last podcast.
Last podcast.
I didn't have Rocket. I don't even think Rocket was a thought last podcast.
I don't think he was alive.
No, he got born March 26th. So I don't think he was because I came in February or something. Yeah, he wasn't even like a blip in my mind.
Yeah.
But no, he's my little dude.
What has having a dog done for you? Because like people have dogs are like, yeah, it's man's best friend, man.
Yeah, Rocket is my bestie. Like Rocket is my ride. Like I would risk my life for Rocket.
Like what has Rocket done for you?
He's, you know what it is? He's unlocked. I don't know why I couldn't figure that word out. He's unlocked like this new sense of like unconditional love. You know what I mean? So like the way that you walk into a door and this animal just freaking loves you, and you're like, sometimes I just look at Rocket and I'm just like, how are you real? Like you're so freaking cute. Like I love you so much.
Yeah. A lot of therapists use that as a way to compare like this is what you like. Your partner should do that for you. Like to have a healthy relationship. Like imagine like you walk home and your partner treats you like Rocket treats you.
Oh my gosh.
Like everyone will never break up.
Yeah. Because you just walk home and you're like, oh my gosh, this loves me so much. Yeah. Yeah. No, Rocket's made me like love something that wasn't like family or friend or anything. It's like a real love. You know what I mean? And I know people are like, oh my god, Taylor's in love with her dog. But
family and friends don't love you. It's not real.
It's like unconditional though. It's like even if I don't know, I yell at him because he pees on the carpet, he's not gonna like hold a grudge. Next second, he's like playing with me with a toy. Yeah. You know.
Has it taught you anything about like parenting? Like
oh, I don't think I can be a parent. Just because like I'm so stressed out about the little dude because there's a whole new sense of responsibility when you know something is depending on you completely in order to survive.
Do you want to talk about the first few weeks of Rocket or do you want to skip over that?
I haven't talked about it on anything to be honest. We had a rough start. We'll just say that much.
So you don't want to talk about it?
We won't talk about it. But no, it's like this responsibility that you have over this living creature. Like their ability to literally live is in the palm of your hand. Yeah. And so with that amount of stress with just like a dog, I don't think I could do that with kids. I think I'd be a helicopter parent.
I don't even know what a helicopter parent
where
means.
They just like hover, making sure their kid is safe. You know what I mean? Because I want sometimes like, and people are like, oh, dogs don't think that way. I'm like, no, I want Rocket to be the happiest dog in the entire world. Like, I want this dude to like love every single day of his life.
That's a good thing.
I know, but like, imagine I have kids. That's gonna be so hard to do. Yeah. Because kids are mean. Children are mean.
I feel like a lot of people are mean.
I hate you, mom, and I'd be like, oh, I take it so personally.
Hate's a strong word, so like when that happened, I think I've definitely said that.
Kids throw that around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's
nothing.
Like my friends who like are teachers, I'm just like I couldn't. But there's also like some beauty about being around kids, like the play aspect, because like we're grown as adults technically, right? Technically. But one thing I love about I from what I've seen in our mutual friend group as well as like your friend group and my friend group outside of our mutual friend group, it's like we're all still kind of kids.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like when I see Ping and Kev playing video games.
Oh, Smash Bros. Yeah.
Like, are you a Smash Bros. Person too? Are you good?
I'm so bad at it. I can't play. I get out the very.
Are you a video game person?
No. I'm good at Mario Kart, but that's about it.
Mario Kart.
What did I say? Mario.
Mario. I like Mario Kart a lot.
Me too.
But that's the only video game I play.
Same.
Okay, I'm glad we're there because I treat life as a video game right now. Like, so example, right now, like the business stuff. I'm like, how the fuck can I figure this out?
Like, what level are you on?
What level I'm on, right? And I could tell I've leveled up like 10 levels in the last 2 months, right? And I was like, I'd rather play this game because it affects my real life than like an actual video game.
Absolutely.
But like, I feel like it does the same thing to your brain. The only thing that video games, in my opinion, do for you that's probably beneficial is the reactive times.
Yes.
Like in
Yeah, like your fast twitch muscles in your fingers when they're like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not coordinated. I think that's why I suck so much at.
Stop.
I know you said.
Guys, okay, we're gonna have Taylor saying I'm not coordinated, and then her Olympia routine, like right next to it.
I'm not coordinated in video games or like anything else. So it's like those things like I'm just not good at.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think the reason why I don't play video games to become good at them is because I'd rather be good at other things and spend that time being good at other things than like Smash Bros.
I guess that's a great point that I wanted to circle back around. Is like you said, to achieve the things that you want to achieve and do the things you want to do, that you're willing to give up some other things.
Yeah.
Right. How do you determine what things to give up? Like, for example, for me, I know I need to give up some other aspects to get better at the things I want to do right now. How do you determine like they're worth giving up, or a friendship's worth giving up, or like, you know, like it could be as simple as like time. Like I'm gonna get meal preps because instead of cooking, because it will buy me time to do these things. Like,
yeah, it's pretty much that. It's like there's a scale of like how happy will this make me? So in like relationships and stuff like that, like how happy does this person make me? Am I upset at this person? Or are they causing me more mental distress than they are happiness? If that scale is like in the dislike area, then it's like, okay, it's.
But what if it's like you like it still? Like you like it, but
It's but if it's not serving me, then like, you know, if it's not aligned with what I'm currently going after. And if it's like, especially friendships that are like energy sucking, I won't necessarily cut them off completely.
Let's not do relationships. Like,
okay,
it's like
just tasks. For instance, like rock climbing.
Climbing.
I gave up rock climbing.
Yes.
Mainly because, it's fun and I enjoy it and it's a group activity.
Yes.
However, it's a group activity that would take 3 hours out of my day, and it's not 3 hours of my day that's productive towards what I'm doing.
Which is just the bodybuilding show and
Bodybuilding, skill work, whatever it is. Because even now, like, I could technically have the time to do rock climbing, but there's also a risk of injury. Like, if I do bouldering, so like if I fall off and I roll an ankle, yeah, I did boulder, and I roll an ankle, it's no bueno. Or if I go reach for something and strain my lat, then I'm out of training. So it's a scale of like,
or you could fall
risk.
off the bodybuilding stage too.
That'd be pretty hard. It's a pretty big stage. That would mean my spatial wear.
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke when you ran off and.
Yes.
You didn't pick up what I was putting down.
I did not pick up. That went right over my head. But yeah, it's a risk factor. That's one of the things I determine, and it's also just how much it's correlating with my current goals. So.
What are you most excited for in your life right now?
My prep. I'm really excited for prep to start. And I never, ever thought I would ever say that. I never thought I would say it. But literally, there's some days where I'm like, oh, I can't wait for prep to start. But at the same time, I'm well aware that this off season is going to be so good for me. Probably
3 months out.
I want to say it's like end of April. I'm going to start prep.
Start prep end of April.
Yeah, because it won't get hard until like August, September. But like I'll start prep in April.
Are you still planning to move to Arizona?
At some point, yes.
Really?
Yes. I think maybe that's what part of the missing part of me of like, oh, I want to be successful. Because my dream is to own a property in the States where I can go when it's like cold.
Okay.
And then have a property in Canada.
Because Canada's cold as
Canada's so
right
cold. It's like when you guys are just like, oh my gosh, it's so cold here. I'm like, guys, it's like negative 30 in Canada.
Yeah.
You don't know what cold is.
Like it's snowing.
Yeah. It's like you go outside and your nostrils, your
like
nostril hair freeze.
you don't go outside much, right?
I don't. That's why I took up Lego. That was literally the main. I was like, I need an indoor activity where I don't have to go outside.
Yeah, because like I'm in the mountains, like even in the winter, all the time.
Well, of course, because you're in California.
No, I know.
Go run 34 miles in the snow.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So it'd be awesome to have a spot here.
Yeah.
To come back to.
Yeah, exactly. And I still, because my family, my friends are still in Canada, I would never want to like full time move.
Like own one? Because like I feel like you could have one right now.
What do you mean, like a property?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my condo. Like I own that.
No, I'm saying like you could have a spot in the States right now if you wanted to.
I could.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be financially stressed. You know?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
what I'm saying is like if you really wanted to.
Oh, I could.
Like you could.
I could.
Yeah. And
I just am not.
And then your dream of it would be accomplished.
Yes, but then the dream of being like chill and happy would be like a little bit less. Because then I'd have pressure to like maintain a certain income to maintain 2 properties.
Okay. No,
you know what I mean?
That's not my point. I would say like if you wanted to be able to come to the States.
Oh yeah.
like and rent a spot, like
Oh, I could.
you could eat like Arizona rent, like
Is way cheaper than LA.
way cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you wanted to, like
But
it could happen.
but I want to own
Own
a
a
place.
place,
I want to
okay.
own it. So that's gonna take longer.
All right.
So
Next,
the key with me is I want to own it in comfort,
in comfort.
no stress.
The comfortability of it.
Yeah. I don't want to like buy a property and then be like, oh my God, I need to make sure I make my mortgage. Like I want to buy it and be like, okay. Because to me, like that's what like success is not having stress. To not be stressed out.
That's a very good, I mean, that's a very different standard of like success. Because there's a lot of successful people who are always stressed about that.
Yeah.
Like there's people who have like $1 million mansions and they're stressed out at all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to live. I've never been someone to live outside my means.
Yeah.
I'm never someone to spend tomorrow's paycheck today.
Yeah, you're really good. Like you're extremely good about it.
Yeah, I'm frugal.
Yeah, you are very frugal. Yeah, it's inspiring to. Do you know who Graham Stephan is?
No.
Well, he's a big financial YouTuber.
Okay.
And this dude's loaded, loaded, but he won't get a Starbucks coffee ever. Like he'll make.
It is ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do get my Starbucks, but
Oh yeah, what's your order? I actually liked it last time you had it.
I haven't actually had coffee in so long. Like this is probably my first coffee in a long time.
Oh really? I had 3
Yeah.
today.
Yo. You said all the coffee.
Yeah, one thing that you said last time, you're like, yo, I work at like, yeah, Nate doesn't get to sleep.
Yeah, you don't sleep. That's one thing you gotta work on.
I do. That's
Yeah,
a
you're
big thing.
sleep. But my go-to coffee order is usually like a latte of some type with an extra shot of espresso and then hazelnut.
The hazelnut.
Yeah,
That's
so good.
fire.
So good. And the extra espresso shot in a latte.
Extra special.
Fire.
Caffeine.
Yeah. Or because in prep I couldn't even have like any flavored coffee. I would just have like black coffee. I would just get an espresso shot.
Oh, just express
Yeah.
myself.
An Aroma. I don't know if you guys have Aroma here. It's a Canadian chain.
I think so.
Aroma is so good.
Yeah,
like
Aroma
their
Cafe.
espresso is like top tier. So good.
What are you doing differently now than last prep, or going to do differently than last prep?
I think last prep, everything was unexpected. I had no idea what to expect. I just knew it was going to friggin' suck. This time going into it, I know what I'm capable of. And I know how bad the bad days will be.
Oh, it's like I went through this already. Like I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And I think that's going to make me better prepared to be okay with the bad days. Because I know I've lived through it once. I can do it again.
That's a big lesson to learn in life. Like
Yeah.
like if shit happens to you and like you didn't expect it, like it hurts.
Yeah.
And you're like
when you get knocked off, you're just like,
off.
yeah. It's like getting like, pff. You're like, whoa.
Whoa.
God, that was
And then
unexpected.
now you know the punches are coming.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get slapped in the face by like hunger.
Yeah. And I'll be like, you know what? I've been through this. This is what this is a familiar feeling.
Yeah.
Whereas before I never dieted down that much. Like it wasn't a familiar feeling.
Yeah.
So
Why do you think we, or a lot of athletic people or very successful people, decide to purposefully
suffer.
suffer?
I think it's just we like to be challenged. You know,
but
we feel comfort
but
in challenge.
we don't like it sometimes. Like I don't know. For
We
me,
don't like it, but we like it. Because if we
yeah,
didn't like it, we wouldn't
then
do
we'd
it.
Like sometimes the amount of times that I don't want to work out, it's pretty high,
Oh, absolutely.
but we
Same.
still go.
Yeah. I think it's because we see big picture.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think if you were someone who just sees it by hour, by minute, by day, whatever it is, and you're very like focused here and you're not seeing long term, that's what makes the difference between someone who's successful and not successful.
Yeah, it's like working days but living years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not like immediate, what is it? Immediate gratification or immediate, whatever
Immediate
it is.
gratification.
Yeah.
Satisfaction.
Whatever it is.
Gratification.
Like you're okay with delayed gratification. That's what it is.
Delayed gratification. There
Yeah.
you go.
I think that's what it is. But
Yeah.
because
It's always sweeter.
yeah, you always, that feeling is unbeatable.
Yeah. I also don't think it ever goes away. The thing I'm scared about is like you said, you know, with you watching the NFL game, like how cool it would be with Godfrey and Felly. It's like you're still hungry,
Yeah.
and like will it ever stop? I don't think it will. Like
I
you're
don't think-
always
yeah.
gonna want more.
I think so.
But there's also a fine line of like it can, in my opinion, like it could get too much, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You could always be unhappy because you're like never satisfied.
I think a big thing in order to avoid that is being able to celebrate the wins as they come.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Celebrate
times,
hard.
yeah, like be able to really take in that moment. And I do think a lot of people, and even myself at the beginning, I wouldn't take in the small wins. I would only focus on like I would have a win, and I would, what's next? And so now being older
And wiser.
I can really understand like each individual win.
Yeah.
So even like I consider prep like how you consider life a game. Prep to me is like a game. If you check off all your boxes at the end of the day, you win that level. Next day comes.
Yeah.
And that's how I got through prep personally. It's like you want to win each day, because if you win each day, you know going into your performance that you've done literally everything you can going into it. And so whatever happens is meant to happen.
Last prep,
and just do that.
How many days did you lose?
I didn't lose any day.
Every single day you won.
Every single day.
Last prep.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah. I'm someone, and this is where I said it's like a switch.
Yeah.
As soon as I got into prep mode, it was like there is no cheating.
Like you didn't cheat once.
No.
Zero.
There was no like, oh, let me take an extra almond. Oh, let me take an extra rice cake. Like it was just, this is my program. This is what I'm doing.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it's that switch of like, I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Because that's the thing. My last powerlifting meet, I did really well in bench squat, and my deadlift wasn't high. So if I got my deadlift there, I would have won it. But I cheated so much. Like I knew it wasn't the best that I could do.
Like cheated in your preparation?
Preparation.
Now, when you cheated though, what was your mental with when you cheated?
Okay, so I probably tried my best. Like I didn't try my best I could, but
Okay.
like I was balancing like bartending until 2 a.m. right,
Yeah.
and then like on some days like I knew I had to get a workout that day, and I would work out at 3
Yeah.
a.m. right?
Oh my God.
And I'd get it in, but like I have clients in the morning, right, and then I have this and that, so I'm trying to figure out how to structure my day better. But like I didn't hit that workout that day. Like there's a lot of days that just because my schedule like
Was just crazy.
didn't allow me to do it, and like it wasn't satisfying necessarily. Like if I tried my hardest, I would have been happy with the performance, like because I hit good numbers, right? It was I think like around 1,200 pounds altogether. Let's go. But I wasn't happy because I didn't win every single day, and like you saying that you want, like I think it was maybe 70 to 80%.
Yeah.
So when you say you want every single day,
Yeah.
I know how hard it is because I tried.
It's hard.
It's extremely hard. Like, it's very inspirational because, like, if you guys don't know, like, a prep is how many months?
For me, it's I started mid-April, and I ended beginning of November.
Okay.
So it was like a 24-week prep.
24-week prep.
Yeah.
And if to put it in perspective, you have to have a certain amount of food of these things that you're only allowed to have.
Yeah.
You have to hit a certain amount of workouts every single week. You have to hit your cardio a certain amount of week.
Your routine practice.
And your routine practice.
Your posing practice.
And your posing practice.
Your supplements.
All of it.
Your recovery.
And to hear that, like, you didn't miss one day.
Did not miss one day.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. But the reward at the end, even if the results weren't what they were, I was going to be, like, even at Legion, I was still really happy because I was like, regardless of, like, the results beforehand, I was like, I went out there and I hit the routine that I wanted to hit.
Okay, so I guess me asking for advice for me
Okay.
is, like, not necessarily how to get to 100, like, how do I get from 70 to 80?
Well, now that you don't have your bartending job, I think it's going to make a huge difference.
Okay.
I think for you, your biggest thing is like, it was time, really.
It was all time.
And now you fixed that problem.
Fixing.
It's
Still in progress.
Yeah.
Got a couple weeks.
I just knew, like, in terms of how to make it 100% is I put prep as number one priority.
Yeah. Back to comfortability, right? I just know, like, I need to make a certain amount of money to be able to fund the lifestyle that I have. And so, like, balancing that's, like, difficult for a lot of people.
Yes.
You know, so back to sacrificing and this and that, like, do you think the short-term sacrifice of, like, betting on yourself is worth it? Because there's a lot of people who will be, like, half-ass other parts of their life to, like, live comfortably.
Yeah. Betting on yourself is betting on yourself and having the work ethic behind it.
Yeah.
You know, I think some people, unfortunately, will be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but then they almost like self-sabotage because they don't put 100% into it.
Yeah.
So when they do fail, they can be like, oh, well, like I didn't do XYZ, that's why it didn't work out. I think if you are gonna set out and do something, you have to do everything in your power to make sure you succeed. So when I went off on my own as a trainer, I made sure that like I was willing to work whatever hours I needed to work in order to bring clients in. If they wanted to work at 5 a.m., I was there at 5 a.m. If they wanted to work at 8 p.m., I was there at 8 p.m. And in terms of like my ability to create a business, it was just making sure that I was networking a ton. You know, simple things like talking to your clients about their friends, their family, whoever, in order to get more potential clients by talking to them. And you just have to do everything in your power to succeed.
To succeed in that.
Yeah. I know one of my friends decided to go out on their own recently, and they even admitted, they're like, honestly, I haven't been trying my hardest, and now I have to go back to like an office job. You know? So it's like, if you are going to go out and bet on yourself, like, it is 100%.
Like put the work ethic in.
Yeah. I think, what is it? One of my friends, like, especially working in LA, it's like if you don't work hard in LA, it just spits you right out.
100%.
Yeah.
The amount of friends who've come here from my just hometown who are like, oh, I'm going to be a DJ, I'm going to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. Not even 6 months.
Yeah. And you spit out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like, if you go out on your own, realistically, you're in charge of your own schedule. If you want to stay out late and party, and then you don't get that 6 a.m. client in the morning, and you've missed their session 3-4 times, they're going to leave you. You know? So being a business owner, you do have to sacrifice a lot of, like, your free time. Like, I didn't have a social life from, like, 17 to 21, really. Like, wow. I was very much into my business. I still am very much in my business, but now I allow myself more social outings. Yeah. But it was like, no.
And that includes social media and everything, too.
Yeah, even social media. Like, I know what I have to do to succeed.
Yeah.
If I have to batch film and my filming starts at 9 a.m. the next day, I'm not going out the night before. I don't, like, personally for me, I don't do anything that sacrifices the success of my business.
It's like that important to you.
It's that important to me, yeah.
And it should be.
Because it's me. It's my business, yeah.
And that's what you kind of want to be known for too, right?
Hard work.
Hard work.
I'm very much like, I know some people are like, oh, work smart, not work hard. I'm like, no, you should work hard. Work hard. You can be smart and work hard.
And then it's just like a rippling effect.
Yeah.
Like a compounding effect of like both.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that's part of like, what is it, the Rich Dad or something like that?
Rich Dad Poor Dad? No.
Yeah. Rich Dad. Yeah, it's part of Rich Dad Poor Dad where they say like, oh, work smart, not hard.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Hard work is hard work.
Yeah, there's a certain point where like you could do decision making better. Like I feel like decision making is one of the most important skills to have because like based on your decision to do a certain task, it might change your whole life.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you didn't decide to do that bodybuilding show.
Yeah. Where would I be right now? What would I be doing?
Something completely different.
Yeah. Or if I didn't decide to start posting on social media every single day.
Yeah.
My life would be so different.
So different.
Yeah. It's just the decisions you make, you need to like think big picture.
Yeah. I heard this quote yesterday too. The decisions is important, but also the quality of your life. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the relationships in your life too.
Yes.
And once I realized that, I was like, oh, I need to fix my relationship with my sister and my parents. And like the relationships I have with my friends, like all of those need to be good. Cause like if you have a bad relationship in any area of your life, like it affects you. Like, you feel it.
It's like a burden.
It's a burden. And you could be so successful in terms of like career, this and that. But if your relationships with your clients aren't good or anything like that, it's like you're having a bad day. You're going to.
There's going to be something in the back of your mind that's always constantly like there.
What was the feeling? I don't think I've asked you this. What was the feeling when you took second place, like at Olympia, like when you got that medal around, like when you were on the biggest stage of bodybuilding, when the Olympics of bodybuilding, with all these people that you've probably seen on social media, like you're taking photos with Mr. Olympia and like you're surrounded by all these people that are beasts in the sport.
Yeah.
And what's the guy's name who loves you? The guy who is an announcer, Bob.
Yeah.
When Bob announces you, like, what was that feeling like?
It was crazy. Well, first of all, when they announced my name, I was like, I'm gonna stay still because I don't think they got that right. I literally was like, It can't
Stop
be me.
it. You serious?
Yeah, because same thing at Legion too. Like as they started saying like 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place, I was like, okay, like I didn't get top 5, totally fine.
Yeah.
Didn't get top 3.
Taylor's so funny for the Legion. She was like, hold my trophy. Like,
I was like,
it's heavy, bro.
I was like, I don't know what to do. But I never, when I'm on stage like that, I'm never in a space in my head where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really just there to perform my best. And like, I always just consider it a blessing when people enjoy what I do, whether it's social media, whether it's competing. And so when they said 2nd place, I was like, holy shit. I was like, no. And because I expected him to be like, Taylor Learmont. Oh, wait, sorry. And then I didn't move. Sorry, someone else. And then when it was like, no, go to the middle, I was like, oh shit, like this is happening. I was like, I am literally, because on stage, you had Whitney Jones and Ariel and Oksana, and they were in Generation Iron 3, I think.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a bodybuilding documentary where they follow these bodybuilders around. And I watched that years ago.
Okay.
Like 2019 when I got into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And to be on that stage, not let alone be in the placings of those women, I was like, this is fucking for real. Like this is insane to me. Because I would have never thought I would be on the same stage in the same lineup getting awarded with these women. Because I've seen what they've done. I've seen how long they've been in the sport. And so for me, it was just like it doesn't feel real moment. Like even Legion took me forever to even be like, yo, I'm going to Olympia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was just like, holy.
What were the emotions?
A lot of shock and happiness. I think Olympia was harder for me to celebrate because of a little bit of the backlash. I think that one was, I would say that was one of the moments in my life where I didn't get to appreciate the win.
Yeah, because I don't think it was even 10 minutes after when we were on the drive back.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the haters.
Yeah, because it was almost like immediate. People were upset, and I was just like,
me and all your other friends were like, "What are you talking about, dude? Like you deserved it."
Yeah.
You know, but like for a good solid 5 minutes, probably you were just talking about the haters. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know, and it's crazy because in that moment, I wish out of everything I would have been able to just been like, I'll deal with that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I let it get the best of me, and I didn't get to celebrate like literally a moment in history that I never thought would have happened in my life. So it's like one of the biggest moments of my life that I remember as like a regret, but also as a success. If that makes sense. Like I regret that I let it get the best of me to like listen to outside opinions.
Yeah. And I guess how do you deal with the haters nowadays?
The haters.
Because you've had enough hate to be having and the experience with the hate to deal with it properly. And I guess like how do you deal with it properly now? I
just try to ignore it, and I use it as fuel to motivate me to prove them wrong.
It's hard to ignore it though because you're an Uber. Taylor is the quickest person to respond
at everything.
Everything.
I'd be on my phone like this.
Yeah.
It's true. It is hard to ignore.
Yeah, because you pay attention so much to social media.
I do.
And to people who might not even, like, to everybody. Like, any DMs you get.
It's a reply, yeah.
It's always a reply.
I think, so in terms of, like, ignoring it, what I try to do when people are hateful with, like, unreasonable things that they say or whatever, I try to remind them there's a person underneath it all. Like, of course, people just see a social media platform. They think 1.9 million people, she's not going to read my comment. I'm just going to hate on her. And so I try to reply to them in a way where it's like, oh, like...
So you do reply?
I do reply.
Oh.
I'm just like, oh, that's really unfortunate that you would look at this post and only take in this and judge me for this when you don't know anything about me. Like, I try to bring in, like, a person behind it.
Okay, a lot of people would... Do people respond to that?
Sometimes I reply to it. Some people, as crazy as it sounds, they go, oh, I didn't expect you to read this. I just wanted to say this, but like I actually do really look up to you. And I'm like, that's a crazy way to get my attention.
Fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it's a crazy way to get someone's attention. Other people are just like trolls or whatever. So it depends. I try to make the best of the poopy comments as I can. And I really do use it as like, okay, well, like if you don't think I'm deserving, like I'm going to work super hard this off season and prep, and I'll show you that I am deserving.
Yeah. Do you know who Alex Ramosi is?
Oh, you're saying all these names. I don't know if they are.
They're all I guess you're in the creator space of just fitness stuff.
Yeah.
But like I pay attention to a lot of like financial and business podcasts. And so this guy, he's like a really big business guy on YouTube. And he was like, the only way to like silence the haters is really to win so big.
Yeah.
so big that like their voice is so small.
Yeah. No, that's
And-
true. That is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Like I really just am trying to be the best I can be
Yo,
to just tell you to shut up and stop being mean.
when like this next year, if and when you win Olympia, like that would shut up so many people, and it would put a ripple in the whole entire fucking fitness industry. And you'd like the what you said about like the fitness staple, like you would change the game.
Yeah.
Change the game. And there's a difference between. It's crazy. There's a huge difference between first and second place.
Yeah.
Like in anything.
Anything, yeah. Well, even the way they announce first and second place at most competitions, it's like the two people come on stage and then it's like, and this is your winner. And second place usually doesn't get as much attention.
It's not even as much as third because
Yeah.
they'll say third.
Yeah.
The second one, they celebrate the winner, and the second one they'll say it after like a few minutes after.
Yeah.
And you put just as much work in and this and that, blah blah blah. And I'm excited for you, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited. And again, when I go into Olympia this year, it's not because I'm like, I'm chasing first place. That's never my intention.
It's to be the best.
It's to be my best.
Your best,
My
yeah.
best.
And
And I do think, based off of my off season so far, it will be my best. And I think I'm going to improve. So I'm really excited for that. And whatever the results may be, I'm excited to have them because I'm a big firm believer of like everything's happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Cool.
yeah.
Miss Taylor Learmont, Miss LittleTfitness, thank you for
LittleTfitness.
coming on.
No, thanks for having me.